not so highly veiled secret as I usually do the stuff anyway.
Yeah, but so now we're live, and we want everyone to buy into it though a little bit, right? So yes, you must do it for Ted Ed.
Yes. Oh wow, yes. Wow. I'm gonna have to find better street corners. That's what.
Yep.
All right, now we're good. Sound test out there. Sound test.
It is so nice to see you both.
Yes.
Yes, same.
We saw it. Ed, you were like another pea in a pod last Sunday night. It was weird. Like there was like 20 people on it. Ed's just one of them, just sitting there hanging out on Darling Stream.
So awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
Well, you see, there was this, charisma overload. All these beautiful ladies.
Yes.
I'm just a guy with a fake Santa beard. Hey, come on, Anna. You are the most beautiful of them all.
I'm old and great hair, and
but
now I have a bad voice and all that.
But that's the whole point, Anna.
Mm-hmm.
They are all young, untested flowers. You are the battle-tested veteran.
That's true, yeah.
You have lived. You have done all this stuff. You are deadly. They just talk about being deadly. You're the one.
We survived the aughts and the 90s and the 80s when things were tough in different ways than today.
Yeah. Yeah, when the world was still everyone's oyster. And
yes, exactly. The
again.
70s, the 80s, and yeah.
Yeah.
Especially the 90s. Were...
So can I say something that's really going to probably get me in trouble?
Sure, go right ahead.
Yeah, and I know you're gonna laugh. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
The 80s were the time where you could get stuff that wasn't treatable, but at least I got one that was.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Yes.
You got stuff back then, and it was a different thing.
I knew Ed would laugh at that. So.
Let me put it this way: for me, the 80s were when I was old enough to know better, but young enough to do it anyway.
Right.
Yes,
well, absolutely.
Exactly.
We all were stupid back then.
Yeah.
We all.
We were proud of it because.
Yeah.
You didn't need to be that smart back then. You could survive anyway. So yeah.
Yeah. We're live, right?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
All right. Thank you, Petros.
With Jay, you can assume we're always live somewhere, streaming something somewhere. Yep.
We're live. All right, good to see you. People starting to roll in. I was looking at the wrong channel. Jeez. So, it's early still.
Oh, I'm loving the minis though.
Yep, that's Gamescape. That's all the stuff Jeremy brought. I mean, Jeremy is the man. So we continue. Mm-hmm. I know Jeremy will be there next year with Bill and Master Crafter next year there too. So it'll be even more. So, all right, Ed. So we can talk about this live because I don't really care. Like these guys, Ron Meissner and Phil are begging me to convince you to go to Page next year in January. So I said I would talk to you. No promises, but if you want me to put them in touch with Ivan, I can.
Well, here's my sitch at the moment.
Yep.
I'm keeping very quiet and delaying because I know that just about the time that GameholeCon rolls around, we run out of episodes that we've pre-recorded of Legacy of Worlds.
Oh, so there'll be more.
Yeah. Well, Tommy is talking about a
Beyond the Wall of Worlds,
and I don't mind filming them, like going to Tommy's and filming like 26 episodes in 8 days like we did last time.
Right.
I'm old, but I can take it. I can take the abuse.
It's too easy.
But I'm not so sure I want to become part of the traveling roadshow that goes to all the major cons.
Right. I don't blame you.
And does live plays because I'm getting too old for the travel. It is interfering with my writing. But Tommy is going to like sweet talk me, like particularly we drive down to Origins, we drive down to Gen Con. It's going to be a road trip where I drive to his place, park my car, I get in his, and we drive down and talk.
Right.
So I'm going to have a heart-to-heart at that point, and work out what I'm going to do, and
full color art.
Then it comes down to my turning around and convincing my library ladies, hey, I want time off in January, the worst time of the year
Yeah.
mechanics,
to go somewhere,
and much
to add to this.
No, I agree 100%. I told them that I would be completely, I would be, you know, a proponent for them because this is the second year of it. But just note that I know it's a lot. I know it.
I don't mind doing it, but I also have the D&D in the castle. Pledge and share me saying, hey, you want to, you know, so.
Really? Well, that makes two of us.
There you go. Well, you see, right now, I just want to say, hey,
three of us, they were after me too, but I turned them down for the first. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I was scheduled for 3 different ones, and the first one was canceled due to COVID, and the second one was canceled due to COVID, and then then we pushed it to the year after that, and then I said no, yeah, I don't want to do it, so I turned them down. Yeah.
Now I don't mind doing all this stuff, but I'm acutely aware, see the old, you know, Santa disguise, that I am getting older.
Yeah, I understand that.
There are things I want to write, design, and publish.
Same here.
And if I let people, well-meaning as they are, fellow gamers as they are, doing cool conventions as they do, I could die having never written another word that I published because I'm too busy having fun. So I got to balance this.
No, I agree 100%. You know, and
yeah, for me it's also an economic thing. It's expensive to go to conventions, so I definitely can't afford it.
But you're VIP guested on this one, Paige,
yeah,
right?
But there's still cost. Meaning you still have to pay. For me, it's airfare. I have to get to the airport, and it's still at minimum $500-600, even if they pay for.
Yeah, I got it.
And then if $1,000 if they have to pay for the airline tickets. If I have to get myself to some other place in the country, it's almost $1,000, even if they pay for everything there. It still piles up. So
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm same boat as Anna.
And I don't have a lot of cash to spend on it. I would love, meaning for a while, for like almost 10 years, I went to a convention every 2 months. Nice. And had a lot of fun, but then I worked a lot, and I don't mind working a lot at conventions. I think it's a lot of fun, but the problem is that I can't pay a lot of money out of pocket to go to conventions. That is, that's a limitation for me, unfortunately.
Yeah. For me to get from my farmhouse just to my local airport in Toronto is $600 there and back.
Yeah, for me, I pay like $250, $300 to go to LAX. Whether it's, I don't have my own car, so about $300 to go there, and then a little bit of other fees, usually the other end. So, and then plus airfares for $500. So it's $1,000 just to get there.
Right.
And even if they pay for the convention and hotel rooms, so yeah.
So I'm typing in something as a joke to the audience. Sorry, this turned into a bitch fest.
Oh no, but yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But I love to go to conventions, but it's just that it's kind
of. That's funny.
Yeah, and
well,
I love to work at conventions too.
That's a different.
Yeah. And it is fun to work. I even like working at conventions.
Yeah,
I don't mind that. It's good.
Sure.
I need it.
Don't let Josh hear that, or you never get.
No. I've told him, and I do like it. So I like schlepping boxes. The occasional day is fun too because I need to work out and stuff. So I don't mind that. It's just that I can't afford the out-of-pocket things because that means that I can buy less computer stuff and pay for software and tools like that to do my maps plus the time. So yeah.
Yeah, and I guess, just between the two of us, although I love to see Anna's smiling face, I would much rather the world had her gorgeous maps.
Of course.
Yep.
Because that everybody all across the globe that can get their hands on them can enjoy those.
Balance. It's a balance.
Even if they never get to any convention that Anna's at.
Yep.
They can, revel in those Greyhawk maps. Aha.
So, welcome everyone. Sorry we went off on a tangent there, but
Yep.
It's on conventions and stuff, and like for me, I don't know if I'm going to be traveling anymore this year, but Pages.
I'm going to Game Hall, and I will be very happy to go to Game Hall. It's a great convention, and I love to go there. So even if I have to pay out of pocket some money, but I think it will be worth it, at least almost worth it monetarily. But I think it would be a great time. Game Hall last time I was there was fantastic, and there will be so many awesome people there, including Ed. So I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah.
Very cool. See, for me, Anna, I can't. I get the VIP treatment at Gary Con and at Page. I just will be another person at Game Hall, and I just.
Oh yeah, but
my ego can't take that.
I'm a special
right,
guest at Game Hall too. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to
well,
come.
you
so,
know,
yeah.
if you don't mind wearing the dress this time, you can hang out.
Yes,
Yeah, everyone
yeah.
at Gary Con said we had something going on, Ed.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
you have something going on. So yeah, that's good. Yeah.
By the way, the number one. All right, I'm going to show this real quick. As we're just babbling because Ed always doesn't care if we're on late, right? So
yeah,
I'm just babbling here. The number one picture. Let me see if I can find it. Of every single picture I took at Gary Con, it was liked was the following. That's our number one picture.
There
nice.
You go. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
even though we're not smiling.
Yes, even though we're contemplating in thought there, but we all have the same shirt on. So
You're serious.
Yeah. Yep. So that is the number. That was the number one liked picture. I think on.
Look at that wonderful profile of Gamer Belly on it.
Yeah.
You and me both. But I lost 10 pounds since Gary Con, believe it or not. So I'm trying. I am trying. So, yeah, best fashion shoot ever, right there, Alex. You were there for that. So, hey, Ricks fellas, I'm enjoying Ed's wonderful YouTube channel. Ed has many videos giving deep. Oh my God, yeah. So, that is another reason why we love having Ed on so much. And this man needs no introduction. It's Ed and Anna tonight. You all, a great friend of the community. And if you were at I know I'm babbling. I'm going to keep on going. If you were at Gary Con, Ed hung out with us a lot. So much so, people said there were things going on between some of us. So yes,
no, never. And I am Sullivan.
I'm working on a surprise for later in the show. I hope it comes together for Ed. So we'll see. Okay, but like Ed is so prolific in lore that he sends me a message about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. Oh yeah, I have 9 new things for Forgotten Realms and 9 new things for Greyhawk. I'm like, holy shit, Ed. So Ed, welcome back. It's great to see you. Give me I know we had these on Darling Show, but give me your thoughts, like how Gary Con went overall.
I love Gary Con. Because Founders and Legends was live this year, and I attended both as Luke and Bushra's guest, and thank you very much to them both. That was just long enough that I started feeling like this was normal life.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're right.
10 days in the same building, you kind of, you
living in the Grand Geneva, you finally get used to those crazy stairwells, and don't get lost anymore.
Exactly, you find a way.
And eating, being able to graze in the Grand Geneva all the time, in the Geneva lounge or whatever. And to me, it's old home week because I was driving back to Lake Geneva for the first time myself since I stopped going to TSR in the old days. I mean, I've been to Gary Con and other cons and been to the area, but always somebody else was driving, and I was sitting as a passenger as they went through the tollways and we raced there. This time, I took the old route. My wife used to like to drive by day. At night, because she was older than me, so her eyes were starting to go. At nighttime, I would take over the driving. But she wanted to drive rather than be driven. So this was my goodbye trip to Jen. They closed all the Long John Silvers in Canada. She liked to eat hush puppies at a Long John Silver. So there was one on the way we'd stop at and eat. So I did that. And then at Nippersink, she'd turn onto Route 12 at a White Castle and stop and eat there. It's still there, but it's now a Citgo gas station.
But you stopped at least.
They kept the building.
Yeah, they kept the building. So I stopped and gassed up there. So I was sort of saying goodbye and doing the slow trip.
That's wonderful.
And then I get to Lake Geneva, and damn if they haven't put a Walmart in, and the place is booming.
Yeah.
And the next door pub is crowded with a wait list. All this stuff.
Food was good there too.
Oh yeah, it's good, but it's also off season in Lake Geneva. So half the little places I'm used to, the hot dog stands, the Sunday places, they're waiting for the hot weather. They're not open.
Yep.
So I mean, it was great, and I really loved it. And I tell you, the first half, the Founders and Legends, because there were so many fewer people there than at Gary Con, it was almost like a vacation.
Yeah.
for the first time at a con. Because I, like Anna, I work cons. I'm always on. I'm inviting people to my room to look at stuff and design stuff or play around with something. I'm trying stuff like new games and so on. So it's work. And you sign 5,000 game products and body parts throughout the throughout the week.
Yeah, lots of signatures.
Yeah. So I mean, but this was really enjoyable, and I really got a chance to relax. And then I really got a chance to relax, as in I can recall sitting with two people whom I will not vilify at 4 a.m.
Curtis and Brett.
Yeah, there you go. And knowing I had an early panel in like 6 hours, and I go back to my hotel room, and well, let's draw the veil of decency over the fact that people weren't asleep there yet, So it was like, wow, I'm gonna pull an all-nighter just like college, and it's all fun, and it's my gaming friends, and we're hanging out. And people are getting drunk at the bar, and I am seeing and hearing things I would not normally see and hear, which is a good chance to ask about future gaming products with luminaries in the industry.
Yep.
And then they tell you what they're working on. And as an isolated gamer up in the wilds of rural Canada, I now know, and I scuttled home and I took all my handwritten notes and put them into a file here on my computer. I know what games to watch out for, what releases, Gary's stuff being brought back into print, possible Greyhawk adjacent stuff, and yours, Jay, your Kickstarter coming, all this stuff, the stuff that we're gonna promote to do with certain culinary
shouting out your ads. I'm gonna be shouting out your I'm sorry, I'm shouting out Kefir's a lot. There it is.
Yeah, Kefir's. Yeah, exactly.
I got that.
So it's all that. So I loved all that, and I can't wait to get back there.
Yeah.
But there's also this, I come back and my library ladies say, "You were gone for 2 weeks." Now, because I have to like seduce them, not literally, folks, but I mean into giving me the days off I want for my games throughout the rest of the year, I went shopping in the exhibit hall and I bought a whole bunch of cool stuff for non-gamers.
Right, that's it.
Mouse pads with beautiful fantasy art, dice that glow and have eyeballs in them, dice bags with eyeballs on them, cool stuff, a coffee mug from Smuggler's Coffee that says "Drink coffee, crush skulls," stuff like that. And I brought them all and put them out on a table in their workroom at the library. And they were like happy locusts descending on, taking all their stuff. So, yeah, I loved GaryCon. Let's do it again. Like, let's do it all the time.
Well, it was
that's what's happening.
Founders Alenius was kind of, there was one unusual thing. Normally, when you're at a game convention, you take over the whole campus, so to speak. The whole compound is only gamers. But at Founders and Legends, there were normal people there too. And it was funny. There was a lady that sat in the bar when I was sitting there studying the latest PDF and prepping for Tower of Gygax. And she asked me, and she saw I had the badge on. She was like, "What's going on? What you all the people with badges? Something to do with D&D or role-playing games?" So I started explaining to her, and then there was this other guy sitting across the table from her, and she asked questions and so on, and I started explaining. And then after a little while, I presented myself, and they presented themselves. I said, and I said, "Oh, so you're here like just vacation?" "No, this is our first date." And I felt like an idiot who crashed their first date by babbling, because they asked, when you ask a gamer question, especially me, you get like half an hour of all the story about D&D and whatnot, so to speak. And so I hope I didn't ruin their first date, but it was kind of fun. That was kind of funny. Yeah.
Let me tell you one story about Founders and Legends.
Please.
I'm talking to all the people in the front lobby, as you do, because people stop you and you're and you're talking, because everything moves along that spine of the corridor crosswise. And there was a wedding, and the bride is in traditional white with the veil, beautiful dress. The whole bridal party, the female part of the bridal party, are wearing these red or maroon satin dresses.
Okay, well,
the sort that are sort of an ankle length and push the boobs up into a front shelf, you know, and they all look quite nice. And they're processing to wherever they have to go along this aisle. And this guy runs up to me. I think he was missing somebody, guy in a suit, and he runs up to me and he breathless. He says, "Are you part of the wedding?" So I look at him. I'm
crashing time.
I'm this, and I've got my badge on. And I said, "No, but if you can get me a dress like that." I pawned at one of the bridal party in the Brood, and he gives me this look of absolute shock and horror. And I said, I could braid the beard and put a little maroon bow in it. I'd probably look okay. And he gives me this look like, what asylum have I run into? And
that's awesome.
And he starts to hurry away, and I say, "Is that a no?" And of course, the staff that check you in at the Grand Geneva can all see and hear this because they're all standing right there, and they are starting to kill themselves with laughter.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking, "Yup, I'm home again. I'm amongst gamers."
Yep, it's awesome. Yep.
One quick Founders and Legends story. So I'm playing Thursday, I think it's day 3, and Ed's wandering around because he got nothing going on, right? I'm like, "Ed, sit down and watch what goes on behind the screen." And Ed sits right next to me and just sits there and watches me DM for like an hour on that game.
I wandered past and saw that you had Ed as an assistant DM.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Good job, Will. I'll see you tomorrow night. Yeah. So.
Watching Todd Stashwick look increasingly apprehensive.
Todd was great. I mean, Todd was. The Colt, the crit in the nutsack. Yeah, all that stuff. That's right. He read that. He read the groin hit. That's right. Ed wrote that. Yeah, I forgot about that. All sorts of fun things. So, all right, tonight. I know we'll go off on tangents all night, but we're gonna do factions and orgs of Greyhawk and the Realms. And like I said, Ed just whispers me on Twitter like an hour and a half, 2 hours for the show. Yeah, I got 9 of each of these things you might know not about each of them with a link, a connection. I'm like, holy jeez. 18 new pieces of lore. So it was Tim Stronghold. It was awesome. So cannot wait. But yeah, unbelievable. How do you do it, Ed? How do you come up with all that? That's a lot, man.
You sit down, you put your bum on the chair and your fingers on the keyboard, and you design. You let your imagination run. That's what you do.
It's true. It's
yeah.
True. You let you're dead on that, man. You just let your imagination run, and you come up with some great ideas that way. And yeah, you're right. You're dead on. It's that simple. Yeah, it can be that simple.
Yeah, and the nice thing about gaming. And gaming in the modern era where you have the internet is you come up with an idea, like say, just off the top of my head, Scarlet Brotherhood. You can now type Scarlet Brotherhood. Up comes a website. You go, good, I can check. Who's the leader then? What are they doing?
Right,
Does this fit with my idea? And then you're away.
Carrycon Live is coming in. It's Garner running to MoaCon. Hope you did well, Garner. That's awesome. Yep. Good to see you. Now I just got to. Here we go. There's your shout out. There's GaryCon Live. Boom. Got a lot of giveaway. Oh, the giveaway should be set tonight. Classic D&D reprints. If I get charitable, and I think I may give away something special later tonight. We'll see. Just depends on my mood. But yeah, Ed's created a whole bunch of new lore for both Forgotten Realms, little side bits, which is what us DMs need, which is cool. So. Yeah, and Garner, I hope you had a great show. I was watching it, and looks like you're all having a lot of fun playing that Showcanth. Not Showcanth, TomoCon. Jeez, man, look at me. Am I getting old too, Ed?
Yes, you're getting old. But you're like fine wine, Jay.
Yep.
Turn to vinegar?
Yeah, well, we'll buy you a push-up brassiere and a stomach, and you'll look young again.
Yep.
Well, hopefully. I just, we're working on it, all of us. So, can there be? I'm gonna ask another question for Ed, and then we'll get. I know we have 1 or 2 questions. Can there be too much lore, ever?
Okay, for a particular gaming style, yes.
Okay.
But you just have to have the self-discipline to not look it up and not get mired in it.
Yep.
But for those of us who don't have enough time, because our time to play with friends, particularly if you're playing in person, is precious, the fact that somebody else in the world has gone down the rabbit hole for you and detailed everything, you can just cherry pick what you want. And if you trust the source, you can be fairly sure that the person who's done all this lore has built it into a tapestry that works. So if you trust it, you use it at your gaming table, it's not going to be too out of whack with other things. So I don't have to know all about the country of Italy to go and visit there for 2 days on a convention. But it's really nice to know that if I sit there in my hotel room saying, what did that guy just yell at me? Let's type it in. Oh,
right.
He said this. Okay. Oh, he's telling me about good wine. Okay. Whoa. And then down the rabbit hole I go because somebody else has done it. So you don't have to use all the lore. It's there if you need it.
Yep. You should use it as a raw material you can work from and use as much or as little as you need, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah. So there can be too much lore for an individual gamer's style and tastes.
Yeah.
But there can't be too much lore for foundation for all of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess especially new game, if you're new to a setting, it can be daunting.
Yes.
To digest it when you think you have to eat an elephant in order to just have a little adventure. So yeah.
And I find that an issue sometimes with new people getting into Greyhawk. They're worried about upsetting the canonistas or the lore masters. I'm like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just play.
Yeah.
Just play and enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean, my God.
And do what Gary and Len would always tell you to do. Don't start in the free city of Greyhawk with political machinations. Start in your village on a trade road somewhere, a minor trade road, and explore it. Be the young kid going on his first adventure. And then the world will unfold around you at your pace.
And if you invent a village, no one can tell you that you're doing it wrong, so to speak. So yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, when we're in 2-drink minimum, off we go into the Lort Mills again.
Yeah.
And we're exploring the Lort Mills. We don't have to be experts on the Free City of Greyhawk, the Plumage,
Altamira,
the Horn Society.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
We are exploring the Lort Mills, and it's new to us, and it's new to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also as a player, you don't need to know any lore. Meaning, I don't assume that my players in my campaign know any of the lore at all, but I assume I know that their characters do, especially when they get experience. So I need to tell the player, your character knows this, understands this, and then the player can do some fun with that, or tweak it, or use it in whatever capacity. So help the players. Don't demand that the players study all the lore ever, so to speak. Use it. So simply, and it's depending on if a character plays a newbie villager who's never been anywhere, then you don't need to worry that that character doesn't know much about the world. But if that character plays a 15th level priest of something, then that character should know everything, all the rumors and whatever that concerns the status and the position they have. So therefore you can start force feeding the players saying, oh, your characters knows this and suspect that and stuff, and help the players to make cool decisions, so to speak. But make sure you don't make the decisions for the player. That's a fine balancing act. Tell the players what the character know and let the player make the decisions.
Yeah, Jay quite often does this at the beginning of the 2-drink minimum when we're in the tavern. He'll say, Ravalantar, you've seen this person before.
Right.
You don't know this person. And that's all I need for the story. Yeah.
Yep.
Especially when you have limited time.
Especially at convention games and
streaming,
where you have
streaming,
to fit it in. Yeah, in a home game where you can take unlimited amount of time almost. It doesn't matter if it takes 6 or 8 sessions. Then you can be more elaborate. You can be either sparse, and you definitely can let the players figure out way more, so to speak. You don't need to feed them as quickly.
Good points. So the reason I asked that, I don't know where I was going with that. I do know, and sometimes I hear I hear silly things like, "Well, there's too much lore done. I can't fit my own game in it." You know, that's what I thought. That's exactly the answer I wanna hear back is you know. So because I don't think that's the case in any setting, even Dragonlance. You know, with Dragonlance has a really set plot line, right? You know, which goes on to.
Okay, let us take this to a real world example.
Please.
You need a car to get to work. You can't walk. Your car dies. You need a new car. You don't have to research every single car on the market to replace it because you know what your budget is.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm. You know what sort of vehicle you need. Do I need a truck? Do I need a little car? Do I need to be able to put groceries in it? So you make those. Those are sort of givens, and you make them in 5 minutes. Oh, great! You've already narrowed down what you're going to look like.
Yeah, and then you see which one have dealerships within reach that you can buy from, and there you go.
Yeah. You don't have to know everything about every car on the market. I don't have to look up to see who's still using the Wankel rotary engine in order to buy a new used car, to get me to work. Same thing.
Okay.
You don't need to know everything about the grand sweep of history in Greyhawk or the realms to just enjoy a dungeon crawl there.
Yep.
And please note, I don't know everything. I don't.
Me neither.
No.
Meaning I work with this every day, and I still feel like I've learned more the last couple of years than I've done in 35 years prior.
So I'll say that Les and Samwise may know a lot more than me, right? But there are lore masters in the game, and that's okay.
But it's also a bit like learning a foreign language when you approach a game setting. In the beginning, there's so much to learn, and you think you need before you can even make use of it. And then once you get to the time where you can vocalize things, so to speak, you can make sentences, you can understand, meaning you get an overview of the history, you know the main players and you know the main geography. Then all of a sudden you know where to look, so to speak. So when you read a text, you know, oh, this is interesting. That part belongs here and I can use this. So once you get over the hump, all of a sudden that learning and digesting the material becomes easier the more you do it. So it's hardest in the beginning, and after a couple of years, if you get really interested into it, then it becomes easier and easier and easier. And once you have that everyday mastery is enough to digest things, and when you read it, you know what you know this faction over here, and you know they are evil, and you know what Scarlet Brotherhoods generally is, so to speak. So when you hear something about it, you can immediately fill in these little white spots, so to speak. When you start reaching that level, then all of a sudden you can kind of, what if, and will this work, and so on and so forth. Then you starting to get into to know your topic, so to speak, and it goes from there, and then you can dive into even deeper things, meaning, okay, what would be the prehistory of this? So what would nature, how do I want my dragons to function to fit into this story and this narrative that I have there? That's questions you can never ask in the beginning, and don't worry about it. Just put a cool dragon up in the green dragon in the forest or a red dragon up in the mountains. Don't worry about it. Let the party kill it and problem solve, so to speak. But then 10 years into the campaign, you want to see what is the role of red dragons and how do they fit into the campaign, and how do the evil overlords interact with red dragons, or do they have cults and stuff? Because then you want to make more than just a dragon encounter. You might want to have a campaign about the nature of dragons in Greyhawk eventually, or the realms, but don't do that as the first one. Just make a cool dragon.
I am the dread dragon Montoya. He killed my father. Prepare to die.
Yeah, exactly. So and don't expect your first campaign to be as epic as Star Wars with I'm your father and all of that stuff, so to speak. Let it come. Eventually, it will come by itself. That's the cool thing. It will come no effort. One afternoon when you're commuting to work or out hiking or whatever it is, you're like, that's cool. I should do this. Write that down. And every time you come up with a cool idea, just write it down somewhere and then collect these ideas, read them through later on. Just make sure you write them down so you don't forget about them. And because later on you can go through, I have 250 plot ideas and things to study and look into and ask questions about. And that way I fill in the gaps later, so to speak. When I have some dead time, I kind of research, what is it with this Death Knight or that Animus? What's the story about that one? So yeah.
Yeah. Well, Anna, what's the story about the Death Knight? Oh, fourth level characters run into him. He's going to kill everyone.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. But that's that you can build stuff in the background and stuff like that.
Right.
But in the beginning, don't worry about it. Then just run cool encounters and build cool encounters and so on, and have cool action or whatever. And then when you master. In beginning, I think it's more important to master the rule system to run effective games. And once you have good mastery of that, that's when you can elevate your game into to more kind of political territory, deep stories, old legends, etc., and so on. And then you run into the problem then you want to change the rule system. So then you're back to square one again, and then you can tweak that. But then you have the lore to fall back to, or fall back on, so to speak. So it's a little bit of back and forth. Don't try to better yourself in all areas at once. Meaning, concentrate on the rules and getting the session to work in the beginning, and then move into heavier story-based stuff later on, so to speak, as needed, as you feel like you have the bandwidth to tackle that as well. That's my advice.
And I'll say this: my DMing with rule systems and style is always evolving. So is my campaign setting. Both.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. So
and then it's meaning when you're 15 years old, you want to, then it's all go out and bash things and collect the treasure. When you're 50 and you want, then you're angry at the political system in the world, and you want to go out and vanquish foes that are one way or the other difficult and stuff. So yeah, I'm speaking for myself here.
Yes.
So, yeah. Yeah.
I got to deal with my knuckleheads on Thursday night, so.
Yeah, or you have a nasty boss at work. Perfect NPC profile, so to speak. So make an NPC based on someone you dislike that is someone that pesters you in real life.
I wish I could say,
and
I wish I could say Fritz Winchester was a real person, but he's not in this case.
No, that's the thing.
He's becoming legendary.
Yeah, but don't make it too obvious, and don't make it someone that the players know for no. Yeah.
No, Alex, that would be like 6 years ago. We couldn't air before I went streaming. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes, some nights, I'm wondering why I stream the Thursday night games because stuff happens. That's another story. So a question from Rex Fellis for Ed, and then we'll get into some lore here. He said, "Did you write a lot of your stories early on and publish them with Mert the Moneylender?"
Yes.
Okay.
There are somewhere I have a file. I think there are about 20 stories. This is before D&D existed. So we're talking 1965, 1966, and then onwards for about a decade. So there are about 20 stories out there. By the time 1975 rolls around and the wider world sees D&D that isn't at college with Gary and Dave outside Wisconsin, so that's 1975. By then, there are 22 Realm stories published.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So there you go, Rick Schultz. Good question.
Awesome. Yep.
So, all right, Ed. Let's tidbit them. Why don't we give me one from Realms and one from Greyhawk that you're like, I just did these up.
Sure. Okay. So I'll just do the bare bones.
Okay.
Not the so
no, you can go into depth. It's depth.
Yeah. But things you might not know about the Zentrum.
Okay.
So in the Realms, the Zentrum. The Zentrum began as a way to enrich its members by establishing the shortest trade route between the mines of the Moonsea, full of metals, and the markets of the Sword Coast, right across the continent, with the giant desert of Honora.
How long is that distance?
Oh, it's
roughly?
Thousands of miles.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So the easiest way to think of it is slightly larger than the continent of the United States from east to west.
Okay.
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 certain current members are seeking, and this is by the way, a perennial goal of the Zentrum. They're always trying to shorten the trade route, cut its costs, so they can move the goods faster. And the whole point is they're faster than everybody else who has to go through Cormier, along the Heartland's trade routes, back up to Waterdeep or down to Baldur's Gate. You're trying to cut.
So
the
there's like a
corners.
wilderness shortcut route through more difficult terrain or something.
We saw in long ago The Parched Sea and The Veiled Dragon by Troy Denning, novels published 30 odd years ago now. When they tried to cross the desert and use the desert tribes, a very dangerous and perilous route because it's really hard on your caravans going through a desert. Anyway, but certain current members are seeking to create an even shorter route by establishing a linked chain of magical gates, or portals if you prefer, between Zent-controlled citadels in the Moonsea area and Zent-controlled citadels not far from Waterdeep. Now, the problem is, and we've set this up in the realms years and years ago, around the time we published a product called Aurora's Whole Realms Catalog. And the whole point was, why doesn't everything just travel by teleports? Why don't we have gates set up like airports? And you pay money, step through the gate, and you're halfway across the continent. Well, we established that there were problems with regularly traveling through gates. You might come to the gate with all of your money in a travel bag and your best magic items, and you might arrive at the other end of the gate stark naked with all that stuff gone.
Yep.
So what that means is merchants can't reliably use magical gates to move their stuff. They have to have caravans and ships and all the difficult, slow, regular way. Well, obviously, these current members of the Zentrum think that they have circumvented that. And that's the short version. I'll leave it there. I mean, if you're getting into the weeds as a Realms DM, you might add stuff about where the sites are for both ends of the thingy. Like, are they going to take over the Citadel, the Raven? That's the likely one at the Zental Keep end. But are they going to take over some ruined hold? Or are they going to build new outside some place like, say, Whitehorn, and have to put a new fortress up and marshalling yards and stables and all that stuff that can then be attacked? So it's that sort of thing. And that's how you'd get into the weeds on that. But okay, there's the first one for the realms, the Zentrum.
Nice.
Awesome. And it's so cool. Now I need to just plug something. I'm writing my house rules for this type of stuff, for the teleportation gates and stuff. So this is so cool because I want to make them a little bit more complicated or risky to use, so to speak. So there are more limitations. It's not just like, otherwise there would be magic trade routes and stuff if it were as simple as just cast a 6th level spell or 5th level spell and you will be the other end of the world, so to speak.
You'd have the equivalent of an airline that's fleecing everybody. Okay, so let me go to a first Greyhawk one.
Whoa.
So let me go the Scarlet Brotherhood.
Cool.
Okay. A new schism has arisen within the ranks of the Brotherhood. A dozen-strong subset of the Brotherhood, calling themselves the Pure, believes that there are worthy Seul and unworthy Seul, and only the former should rise to rule all, whereas the latter are as weak and unworthy as other races and should be given all the hard tasks of intrigue and open strife to achieve Brotherhood aims, so they take all losses. Well, the true Seul plan for the future in guarded fortresses and high houses to provide leadership into the ever brighter Seul-dominated tomorrow.
All on the right side of the map.
Well, we're talking Scarlet Brotherhood, so it's probably on the right side.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I like that. I like it. So
we've
seen a lot of, like, there's an article in the latest Grey Grimoire about like a replacement for the Scarlet Brotherhood, which was cool. It was like a Snake Men race, which is neat, because I'm not a fan of the Scarlet Brotherhood. So anything to provide, there never seems to be turmoil with anything they do. ever, which really drives me a little crazy. So I like to see a little turmoil here and there. That's a great one, Ed. That's perfect. Very, very cool. Awesome.
Yep. Good one.
Yeah, absolutely. So I gotta. While I remember this, I'm watching The Witcher for the first time. All right, finally, episode comes up where they finally meet what's her name, Yenma, the wizardess, after she's been transformed back to beautiful, and she's doing this thing because for a guy who's impotent, for a older couple who's impotent, and they go, "Are you ready for this? To stop it, you just need a code word of some sort, and we'll program that in." The code word was kumquat.
Yeah.
Forgot that.
And I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!" Yes.
Yeah.
I was watching that,
Yep.
and I was like, "Holy jeez!"
Yep.
So yeah.
Well, Jay, let me tell you a story out of my misspent youth. BDSM safe words. There was a safe word in Don Mills Collegiate Institute, in which our gym teacher warned us to use whips made of embroidery thread because they didn't leave marks that you would be seen in gym period.
The 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And that gym teacher had a safe word, and it was kumquat.
No way, really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I thought oh well.
I can say that now because I'm sure she's dead of old age, and so is the vice principal.
Oh my gosh. I started laughing my ass off. I was like, that is freaking hysterical.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So kumquats get around.
Yes, so the kumquat. Yeah. So completely different genre, but yeah. That's it, man. Now they made it. That's it, Curtis. You gotta create your own lore, be proud of it, and run with it, and you can fit it into the. I've done it. When From the Ashes came out, all that lore, I was like, "What the hell am I going to do here?" And I figured a way to incorporate most of it in, and you can do it too. And just be arrogant about your own stuff. Just I'm saying that in the kindest terms. There's no reason you can't do it. So. Really cool. All right, let's hear. Why don't we hear another one? You got 9 of each, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! All right, let's hear another Forgotten Realms one.
Okay, so we go back to the realms, and we go to the Red Wizards of Thay.
Nice.
Whom everybody knows about because red robes, tattoos, bald heads, dickish attitude.
Yeah.
So, okay. What many people in the realms may not know is that they are magically powerful, largely because of the Athora, which is a gigantic rock that floats in a cavern inside Thaymount and radiates mighty magic. Because of the Athora, Thay will always be a land where many individuals have the gift to wield magic. Magic items and spells are more easily created, and wizards, red wizards or not, will swiftly rise to mastery and real power. Recently, one of the renegade red wizards who fled Thay when Zastam tightened his hold on power in 1432 DR, it's now like 1499 DR, a necromancer by the name of Angthlas Druid used a new necromantic spell of his own devising to ride the minds of liches, hopping as a sentience from one Thayan lich to another, to reach the heart of Thaymount, where as a wraith-like, drifting amorphous shadow, he embraced the Athora and drank of it to gain great power, which he used to remain hidden from Zastam, the ruler of Thay, and the memories of at least 6 of the Zulkirs who currently rule Thay, under the control of Zastam, because Zastam wiped out almost all the living ones, replaced them with undead liches that he can literally control. And Angthalas wormed his way into those 6 minds and left behind controls that will allow him to either command the liches or to immobilize them, and so thwart some future plan of Tam's. Right now, he's biding his time. for a dark day for Zastam yet to come.
Interesting. That's awesome. So I'm going to ask you a question. Hopefully, we got 2 follow-ups. One from me, one from Gary Julian. When Zastam is in the, you see him in the dark shadows in the movie for like 5 seconds, right? That's about all. So was that cool or was that not cool?
Yes, it was cool because because of the way they did it, as in Blunder's Forge.
Okay.
And Zastam suddenly just isn't there. You know, it's like, okay, we may have this great plan, but we're still not going to let some loudmouthed normal guy walk in on it because that would screw it up. And you get that little taste of how patient Zastam is. And how, let's face it, Saphira is expendable. She may not think so, but he does. You know, so I thought that was cool.
Okay.
One thing, if I may say, in that scene, please, movie makers, Fitzwilliams, really? Fitz means bastard son of in Flemish. And Williams means some guy called Williams, likely Welsh, made his way into the realms. If you're going to do that, fine. But give me just a hint of the lineage and how the heck you have a human with a human modern real world Earth name bopping around the realms. Otherwise, it's just lazy. Anyway, yeah.
Gary Julian's follow-up is, how'd you come up with the Red Wizards with a idea?
Okay. Cast your minds back to Marvel Comics. Cast your minds back to young Eddie in 1966, real life. I'm trying to think of what I want to have out east in the realms. So this is offstage, far away from the Sword Coast. And I wanted to have something. Remember, I don't want any real world analogs.
Right. Okay.
But I want stuff that sort of gives you a taste of something. So I wanted something, and I don't know if this is still a term that we're allowed to use, politically correct. The Orient. Okay. Without being specific to any real world culture or nation.
Something that is seen as different culturally and ethnically and all that.
So what I went for was a combination of Doctor Strange in the Marvel Comics with that stand-up collar on his robes.
Yeah.
Remember, no matter what he's doing, the collar stands up.
Because it's a living entity, basically.
Yeah. And then Moondragon from Marvel Comics. This gorgeous babe with a shaven head who's wearing a similar cloak. And robes, usually of dark green, that all match. And it's a whiff of something different without being specific to a real world culture. And I thought, okay, that's what they look like out there, and they're magically powerful. Remember, I'm like 5, 6, 7 years old. I'm not being very sophisticated here. And I'm also not thinking of woman in any sort of sexual way.
Right. You're just thinking of, that's cool looking.
Yeah, that's cool looking. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, in Thay, they're magically powerful, and some of them look like this. And then later on, I needed, there are a bunch of them. I need a name for them, and it'll be a name that people not in Thay would call them. Oh, well, if they all wear red, it can be Red Wizards, and it's sort of like a uniform, but it can all be different. But we see that shade of crimson, and we go, yup, Red Wizard. Shaved head, Red Wizard, tattoos, Red Wizard.
That's
how I came up with the Red Wizards. And then everything else has been detailing on top of that.
Gary, I think that answers your question pretty well, man. Because that's from Marvel. And just know, Ed's getting inspiration when he's a child from Marvel Comics.
Yeah. Moondragon from Marvel Comics.
Yeah. You don't even have to change uniform from Scarlet Brotherhood and Thay. That's true, but I think that's coincidental. Correct? Between the Scarlet Brotherhood and the Thay.
Oh, sure. Because at that age, I haven't heard one word about Greyhawk. D&D doesn't exist for another decade. Yeah. The Scarlet Brotherhood to me sounds more tight knit. Just the name Scarlet Brotherhood.
Plus, they're not undead worshipping and all that stuff. Yeah, it's a whole different ethos. behind the two.
They are
okay.
in many ways a non-fantasy evil villain, meaning that they fit into the general picture of if you take villains from any political story, real world story and stuff, the Scarlet Brotherhood fits into the general pictures of evil villains from any real world political history story in a lot of sense. And to me they fill a niche that is kind of interesting, because a lot of the other ones are demonic or from the nether planes or draconic or godly, whatever. The Scarlet Brotherhoods are just assholes. And in organized ways, so to speak. And to me, it's cool because they are a different type of villain. They're well organized and have very evil intent, but they are not super supported from the nether planes and they are less fantasy, but they still fit in the story. And therefore I kind of like the Scarlet Brotherhood because they add a slightly different dimension to the just like I love the United Kingdom of Alyssa, Savener. He's also a type of he's like Caligula or someone like that, like a Roman Empire who's become like, oh, I'm powerful, I have a heck of a lot of money, I do whatever I want, especially at night, but with a very polished face during the day.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
and
Gotta watch
I,
both these.
yeah, but it's to me it's kind of cool that a fantasy, a deep, broad campaign long term needs villains of many different facets, so to speak, at
Absolutely.
different styles. And the Scarlet Brotherhood ticks a lot of interesting boxes to me in that sense. They're admitted to be too cartoony in that they always succeed in whatever they do. That's ridiculous to me.
Well,
But they're interesting.
as a
Well,
gamer who will never grow up,
Yeah.
you say organized assholes, and immediately into
Yeah.
my mind, there's a pit latrine, and
Mhm.
15 guys in uniform march in and sit down and poo in unison, stand
Well,
up, and then
in
the next
Scarlet
15
Brotherhood, that
guys.
might be a
all
requirement.
right,
You never know. Yeah.
so I cannot believe what I just read in chat. This is Gary Julian. Sorry, Grok fans. Red Wizard's greater than Scarlet Brotherhood, especially as we learn more. They say it's cooler. Now, I'm going to agree with you there. First of all, because I can't stand the Scarlet Brotherhood. I think the Scarlet Brotherhood should not be anywhere near it. Sergeant overdid it, just like he overdid a lot of things. That's my opinion, all over the map. I like my Scarlet Brotherhood like the Germans and Hogan's Heroes.
Yes. Okay.
A little bit bumbling, like they think they know everything, but they make mistakes. They don't make mistakes in the from the ashes.
But Jay, you're completely right. That depends on how much or little silliness do you want in your game. Meaning, in certain play styles, your campaign demands a lot of silliness in some plays, and in other campaigns, very little, so to speak.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
The Scarlet Brotherhood is operating for power within the existing society.
Yeah.
Thay is more interesting because over time its climate is getting drier and drier, so the crops are failing. They're a slaving nation, but the nobles are clinging to owning slaves as status symbols, but it no longer makes sense to own a slave because now Zastam has undead legions who do all the work, and you don't have to feed them or house them or water them. So
they're starting to be ineffectual biological machinery in a way. They're too costly.
And the fact that the Red Wizards are being dominated by liches and other undead means they can take the long view. They can be very patient in their intrigues and machinations. So that makes them inherently more interesting, but completely different than the Scarlet Brotherhood.
To me, it's interesting because the Red Wizards of Thay are much more fantastical. Meaning they have more fantasy ticks, and in
which
lots
I
of
like.
sense, that is cool. Yeah, and in most campaigns, that's what you want. And the reason I like Scarlet Brotherhood is that they're one of the unique enemies because they're not strong in those areas, and that makes them interesting in that sense, so to speak. But I also don't like. I think they are overdone in especially Carl Sargent. He overdid them because they were always succeeding. They're everywhere. So
that's my point, Anna.
That to me is also unrealistic.
I agree too, Gary. Secret Society. I agree too.
Yeah.
So all right.
They are So in that sense, but to me they're interesting in many ways just because they are low fantasy. They are very low fantasy. They're low magic and so on, but they are still very villainous. And that's interesting because that makes them a different beast than a lot of the other ones, like the Death Knights or the Ivids or the Ayus and Horn Society and others who are very high fantasy.
Well, let me. I was going to do the Horn Society next, but let me follow on the Scarlet Brotherhood.
Yes.
Yeah.
And let me go to the Crescent League.
Yes. Okay.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Are we back in Realms now?
This is Greyhawk. No. That's Greyhawk.
Greyhawk.
Yeah, I got a logo for him. Go ahead.
Okay. So, a Scarlet Brotherhood member operating on her own, the perfume maker, jeweler, and smuggler Neitha Scorl of the city of Scant has begun secretly meeting one-on-one with high-ranking members of the Crescent League to send them on assassination missions against all major rulers in the Flannaeus, except those of the city of Scant. Neitha promises successful slayers high rank and standing in the Brotherhood, plus a house in Scant, plus 60,000 in gold coins of various trusted mintings. She has reportedly had more than half a dozen takers, but none have successfully completed their assassinations so far.
Nice.
That I think fits really well into the Scarlet Brotherhood. They will offer worldly rewards and stuff like that and they will also hire others to do a lot of their biddings.
Yeah.
That's to work through intermediaries is much better than to risk it yourself, so to speak. So yeah. And I also want to shout out, when we talk about the Scarlet Brotherhood, I want to shout out Sean K. Reynolds, which I think did a great job in the Scarlet Brotherhood, that source book, in depicting them. I think he struck a good tone, so it's better than Carl Sargent, who kind of overdid it a bit. But the Sean K. Reynolds, because he was depicting the homelands of it, and that was in many ways cool, so to speak. It gave them more of a cultural.
Let me see if I have any of those for giveaway.
And so on, and we had him on the show, and he really talked about how difficult.
Yeah, Sean's great.
Sean is a very good designer. Yeah.
Yep. So therefore, there I think it's the strength. So that's something, and again, cherry pick, take the part. I've taken a lot of that book, but I haven't used the Scarlet Brotherhood much. They've been around here and there, and I used them against. They went up against Sevener, and the Scarlet Brotherhood were originally successful, but Sevener quickly learned the game, and he was way more ruthless and much more. He was more savvy than the Scarlet Brotherhood. The Scarlet Brotherhood are organized, nasty, so to speak, but he was outsmarting them in that sense, because he didn't have the hang-ups, so he can use Sewell. That he doesn't care what skin colors or hair color or whatever they have, so he could hire them to do freelancing and pay them really handsomely to do it, and got to do it, and that way he used the faults of the inherent biases of Scarlet Brotherhood against them, so to speak, because Sevener is much more savvy and more of a trickster than the Scarlet Brotherhood is. Meaning, if you have hatreds that are known and persistent, that makes you vulnerable, because you need to, as an enemy, you become predictable in that sense. And that was the problem with Scarlet Brotherhood. Once they're out there in the open and they figured out where your weaknesses and strong points are, if you're more nimble and more profit driven like Sevener, and also willing to use whatever methods available, that meant that you can quickly gain the upper hand. And the Scarlet Brotherhood quickly found that out, that they were dealing with an enemy that was very different in nature than what they normally dealt with before. So that was a lot of fun. And the characters were caught up in the middle of this, because they were at the court trying to figure out what was happening and going on, and all of this kind of unfolded and kind of went kaboom quickly, so to speak. Yeah.
So, Ed, it looks like this surprise will be roughly around 8:45 Eastern.
Ooh, okay.
I'm working on it.
May I ask Ed another question?
Sure,
Because this is something I've been very interested in. In Greyhawk, we have a number of knighthoods. and knightly organizations. Maybe you have Knights of the Shield, the Watch, the Heart, and so on. What kind of knighthoods do we have in Forgotten Realms, and are there different ones for different purposes, or what's the story there, so to speak? Yeah,
they got de-emphasized in the published realms because TSR was trying to differentiate their worlds.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't publish any of my heraldry other than what was in the box set, the original box set.
Knights of Mistranor, yeah.
And
That's
then
so sad.
then they dropped all mention of aside from passing things in the box set like Knights of the Shield. They dropped all mentions of my knightly orders, and they creeped back in when Julia and Eric Boyd are taking my lore and doing the god books, because a lot of them are associated with clergies, with priesthoods, because
you need them.
Yeah, the paladins, they do this, but there are one or two sort of independent knightly orders, and almost all the rest of them that we see in Faerun, in the sort of cradle lands, are affiliated with this or that faith, or this or that, or group of faiths, like the Triad, Helm, Torm, and Tyr working together.
The Hollywood Knights, that's funny.
We have lots of knightly orders, but you almost don't see them in published realms lore, because that's Greyhawk. Heraldry is Greyhawk. And it was that just sort of exasperated the heck out of me, because it's sort of like saying, oh, we can't show this one part of your world.
Well, because especially in a medieval-esque fantasy, that's kind of a staple, and that's really cool. So I hope that you get a chance to deep dive and evolve, kind of explain them a bit more, and kind of work on them, because to me it's in a fantasy setting, especially one that is more close to classic medieval fantasy, I think they fill the niche. And in Greyhawk, it's interesting. You have the ones that are very militaristic, and you also have some of them are more political than others, and some of them are more religious, freestanding, and so on. Some of them are tied to a state, so to speak, meaning you have Knights of the Watch, for instance, that basically are the both the Knight of the Watch and Knights of the Shield are the ones running their countries. They are the government structure in their lands, but they're also different. The Knights of the Shield are much more religious. They are good-hearted. The Knights of the Watch, much less. They are more militaristic, a government apparatus, not tied to a religion and as strong as that. But then you have Knights of the Heart in Forundi and Voluna and Highfolk, which to me is more interesting. There are very few in numbers, so I get them that they are much more political. They are not the ones having huge armies on the battlefield. They're more like the king or the rulers reward certain warriors and nobles, both for their fighting ability, but also for their political loyalty and stuff. So you get them, and they're supposed to back up and give prestige to the king and the ruler. So it's like a mark of quality in both the person and so on and so forth. So something to strive for, and they can be used if the king has a conflict between two nobles. He sends one of the Knights of the Heart to figure out what's the truth is and make a ruling in king's stead and so on. That's how I see them. In that sense, they have much more a political role than Knights of the Shields, for instance. They are there to protect from foreigners and lead armies and be the whole government structure. Then they build the castle, then they get a commander, and he's a so-and-so knight in the order, and he gets the castle, and he has a bunch of soldiers, knights and others under him, and the more powerful he gets, the more knights and squires and whatever he gets, so to speak, but it's a member of the order, and the order is Heronian, and that is kind of important. So it becomes it's in that sense, the Shield Lands is in many ways kind of a hidden theocracy. It's not called that in name, but the knightly order is that way. And then you have others like Knights of Protectors. They were a little bit more like, they were somewhere in between. They were a big military force, but they were also the king's power structure, in that sense that it was something that the overking could kind of show off with and show his might and political influence. So I have them as half political and half military,
hey,
so
April,
to speak.
happy birthday the other day. Yeah, I
And
mean,
you can play with these dimensions as needed in your campaign, so to speak. So that there could be more than just men with swords and shields.
Yeah.
They can have different purposes.
And I have Adventure Hook coming up for Knights of the Heart, Knights of Holy
let's
Shield.
roll. Let's roll with
awesome.
them because we're not even halfway through, and we're technically halfway through the show. So, but I know we're going to run late tonight. There's no doubt about it. So, all right, Ed. So I know there's a lot of questions coming in. I'm trying to answer as many as I can as the talking is going on. Just because this is such a great discussion tonight. So Ed, we got 2 of each. So hit us up with a Forgotten Realms one.
Okay, so Cult of the Dragon. We're only on the 3rd Realms one. The Cult of the Dragon. Okay, there's a deity in the realms, Velsharoon, who was utterly destroyed by the symbol. So this is the god of liches and necromantic.
Oh wow,
god of liches.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Now we're talking. Yeah.
Okay. Now, he was utterly destroyed. That's
by the symbol.
Realms.
Okay.
Yeah, by the symbol.
By the 7 sisters.
Yeah, and she sacrificed herself and her own body to go out into the outer planes and make sure his body was destroyed, so he's not coming back. However, his worship continues. And of course, no deity is ever really gone as long as they have mortal worshippers. Now, the question is, if Velsharoon really is gone, utterly destroyed, who is granting his clergy spells and divine guidance? Because somebody still is. Well, no one but Ao, the overgod, Mistra, because it would all pass through her as a conduit, the weave, and the deity Jurgle, the old lord of death, the lord of the end of everything, the one who was confronted by what are now known as the Dead Three, Bane, Ball, and Merkel. They all came up to him as mortal adventurers, like overblown mortal adventurers, and said, "We're going to take you down." And he stepped off his throne and said, "Yeah, you can have it. I'm bored. Bye. Have fun." Okay, guess what? Jurgle is the deity granting clergy of Velsharoon their spells and guiding visions. And what that means is he's controlling the cult of the dragon.
Okay.
So the cult of the dragon is these fanatical worshippers who misinterpreted, or perhaps they haven't misinterpreted, a passage in an ancient text that says, "And dead dragons shall rule the world entire." But the text doesn't really say that. It says there will be none left but the dead, period. Dragons shall rule the world entire. But they're saying the period shouldn't be there. They're saying dead dragons should rule the world entire. So they are dedicated into convincing living dragons to become Dracoliches, whom they serve and control, and therefore the new political power. So what we now know, or we know if we are Jurgle, Mistra, and Ao, and now all of you listening to this broadcast, is that Jurgle is controlling the cult of the dragon. What will he use them for? Well, if you play in the realms, you'll find out more. But at the moment, that's the seed.
Nice. Wow.
Okay. Great.
Good one.
So now, I suppose I should give you another Greyhawk one.
Sure.
So, having done the cult of the dragon, it's time to do the Horned Society.
Oh.
Anna's listening intently.
Yes.
Okay, guess what? The ancient horned ones still exist. And they are appearing in secret to certain of the hierarchs. And they are giving these hierarchs guidance, which these hierarchs aren't sharing with the rest of the Horned Society. Dispersed throughout Noah North, the Horned Society is working in the shadows rather than openly, but is stronger than ever. It's not known what separate, deeper aims the horned ones are pursuing. But, of course, they're not friendly Taus. So.
Cool.
Awesome. It fits in perfect with my campaign.
Yeah.
Aha!
Because of the ancient Flan worship of all the demons and devils and stuff.
Yep, that's exactly where I have my horned ones.
Wow.
And the Horned Society. Yep, perfect.
Perfect. Yeah, definitely. I still think that was another major error in Sargent's world was taking the horns instead of having them as an ally, just wiping them out. I just saw
yeah,
that
but
as
they took me 10 years to figure out how to make lemonade out of those lemons.
right,
More than 10, 20 years almost. But a few years ago, I figured out that, okay, this is the way I want to do it. And it's very, very almost every word you said, Ed. That's how I see them too. Yeah.
And you see, to me, that's just me this afternoon reading about the Horn Society and saying, how can I fit something in that adds a new dimension and doesn't screw up existing lore?
Yeah. And I have it that the reason they were originally were originally conceived as a hero of the old Flan, meaning he was supposed to be a champion for Horn Society and the old Flan against Rossi's and the Grey Kingdom. And that's how the Grast and Igvel brought him up, so to speak. So they made him this, and they also placed him, I'm talking my campaign here. So they placed him far away enough that he could kind of grow his own in a way, so he was out of reach for Rossi, so he can have his training ground far off.
Okay.
And then what happened was when he got first successes, he was taken by the enemy. And that's when Horn Society had to come out of the woodworks, the Horn ones, and create a bulwark state to protect the holdings that they have taken, so to speak. And then when IUs were liberated and came back, they could fall back again. And it was seen as an IUsian takeover, but that was all planned, so to speak. That was part of the plan. When things went astray was when IUs didn't follow the script and started attacking the 10 and other Flan stuff and conquered the Bandit Kingdoms, whatever. He didn't go against the enemies. He just took everybody in his backyard, whether they were friends or enemy. He was like, oh, I do whatever I want. And that's when he went off script, and all of a sudden the Horn Society and IUs became enemies. And that is, to me, is the interesting thing in the Shieldlands, because all of a sudden the Knights of the Holy Shielding and Horn Society are now an enemy of my enemy is my friend. And they don't trust each other, and they've been arch enemies, but now all of a sudden they are on the same side. And that have got some interesting bedfellows in this fight,
that's rich. I love that. Yeah.
So that was my explanation that that's how I take it. So when you said it, it was like it fits my campaign perfectly. So yeah.
Thank you, Valoris. It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a bit. So I'll talk about real quick about the implementations of stuff that I really hated. I just didn't do it. I mean, sometimes you got to make an explanation here and there, right? Because that's just what you need to do. But like, it's with Ed. I know there's stuff that Ed, and you don't have to admit it to anything at all here, but that really frustrates you. And you talk about your knighthood's kind of were put in the back burners. One of an example that happened to your setting. And I imagine there's a lot of stuff like, my gosh, I would have never done that. And it's the same thing. As a DM, you're at liberty to not implement something if you just don't like it. You know, it's not going to hurt anyone's feelings, especially if your players and your community, agrees with you.
Yeah, you just have to know from now on, okay, what I'm doing at my gaming table has diverged from the published stuff here. So if a later published product comes along that says something else, you go, okay, does that fit with the difference, or do I have to explain it away, or do I have to ignore it?
And you can shift your campaign again, so to speak.
Yeah,
something can happen,
yeah. And I mean, it's no more difficult. I know that people say, well, how can I do that? I'm struggling to dungeon master anyway. Well, it's the same way you drive along a road, and suddenly a lane is closed to somebody crashed or there's construction, and you move over a lane, or they say detour and direct you off the road. You don't go, oh my goodness, I have to stop living right now. I can't handle this. You just go, okay, sigh, and you turn off the detour and you live with it. Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so we got 3 down. We're not even halfway there. We got all this goodness. So the great thing is I don't need to talk about anything specific tonight. This is great.
Hey, Jay, that's how you get published. You make the editor or host job easier. You make their working day easier.
Right, okay. Well,
that was the secret to getting published in Dragon Magazine, all that stuff. Give the editor so much goodness, the editor goes, hey, I can slot this in, put these 2 ads in, and go home. You know.
I need to remember that. I do.
Yeah.
Although I'll say from the community help on this, we made it easy for Troller Games. They didn't have to do anything for this. So
yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Well, we'll see how much you screw up the rest of the setting. You might have your new Carl Sargent that screws up a lot of the stuff. You start conquering.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Goes on a imperial building spree.
That's
it.
We're gonna go through slaughter and all sorts of stuff. Would be funny. All right, Ed. Forgotten Realms number 4.
Oh, okay. So there is an organization in the Forgotten Realms known as the Twisted Rune. They are nasty liches, and they meddle in a lot of things, and they kill people, and they did things like try and get their revenge on Calvin Harrison and his family. They captured Halaster Blackcloak and tortured him to get all his information about, being this mighty mage who runs Undermountain. And they generally meddle in all sorts of things like politics everywhere. So, just as this organization influences and manipulates many to do its bidding unawares, because that's how they work behind the scenes, so as to steer politics in Kalimshan and Tethir, the Rune Master Liches who lead this organization are unaware that they are being manipulated and influenced by the well-hidden death tyrant Ochlok, who has developed spells that work on Liches' souls. Meaning, if he can find the jar or phylactery, for that word, that contains the Lich's soul, and you can cast a spell on it, you can start controlling or influencing the Lich. And if you do it subtly, the Lich doesn't even realize you're doing it. And in the case of Ochlok, which I'll tell you more about if you're adventuring in the realm sometime, and I'll tell you about it the hard way, Ochlok is steering the Twisted Rune to start attacking certain things. And okay, I'll let drop a little thing here. Ochlok does not want Kalimshan to be the powerhouse it is. He'd rather reduce it to civil war.
Nice. So
there you go.
A rhetorical follow-up. Do you think personally it's too powerful, and you're like, this is a perfect way to knock it down a little bit in the campaign?
I think it should be less monolithic.
Okay.
It should be more working at cross purposes, being independent.
Cool.
It's sort of like if you say that, say, Hitler and his inner circle spoke with one voice, acted with one voice, that makes them dangerous and fearsome, but it makes them a lot less interesting than if various people, like say Rommel, before the Night of the Long Knives,
right?
When they're all working, they're building to cross purposes, and then as a dungeon master, if you're role playing it, it's inherently more interesting because you got people going off on their own, or you got people doing something that might not work with this, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and the villains need to have more than one dimension, so to speak. That they need to be at least 2-dimensional, but more than 3 can get overly complicated. So but a couple of dimensions, maybe 3, meaning flaws and things, strengths and weaknesses, and also desires and limitations and ways they work through, so to speak. And also there should be a huge difference between a lawful villainous organization faction and a chaotic one, so to speak. A chaotic one can change their opinion on something or their modus operandi in a heartbeat. The leader can be like, oh, I don't like you, so all of a sudden you were the enemy and you're yesterday. But the lawful ones, like Scarlet Brotherhood, they know if you look like us, you're part of us, and that will not going to change. Likely. But I use is like, oh, I don't like that bastard. And I strike a deal with him. All of a sudden he's best friends and they're great. And then they backstab each other and stuff. So you can depict the ones that are, some are built on institutions, magic knowledge, or having an artifact or ancient history, and are really strong in that sense. Others are just, we like each other right now and we might hate each other tomorrow, kind of thing. And Yeah, so some of them should be very chaotic, some of them should be very stable and loyal and so on. But that also means that the stable, loyal ones, the institution, they are predictable and they are also, you can circumvent them because they pick their enemies not by random, so to speak. And the chaotic ones can be completely useless or non-threatening one day, and then they can stab you in the back and threaten your all relatives tomorrow if they don't like you, so to speak. Or if you don't pay them more money or whatever it is, they
see you,
want
darling. I know you got your stream. Yeah. All right, so I got a lot of questions I got to get to. Let's from your 4 a.m. drinking buddy Curtis.
Hi, Curtis.
Is there locale area specific good group that operate in the northern dales like Daggerdale, or is that primarily Randall Morin's resistance circa 1357, 1358?
Okay, so at that time, Daggerdale is a sort of no man's land. In that the Zentrum have overrun it, and then they've turned their attention elsewhere. So what you have is orc and hobgoblin, and occasionally bugbear and goblin, raiding bands who go around plundering the countryside. And what that really means is you've got farmers fortifying and arming their farms and bringing their livestock indoors to share the living room and kitchen with them at night, because otherwise those beasts will be taken in the morning. And then you have like hungry hobgoblins and orcs getting frustrated that there aren't any livestock for them to take, so they start attacking these steadings. And you have farm families fighting to the last person because they figure they're going to get eaten by the orcs if they surrender, so they're not going to surrender. Now, they may or may not be correct about that, but that's the folk belief locally, that the orcs will eat us. So they're going to fight to the last person. You've also got adventurers going into Daggerdale, and what will the farmers give us if we kill these orcs and hobgoblins for them?
Yeah, every orc head will give you a good receive. You will be well received if you come with their heads or something like that to prove that you're
And you have like the last easternmost output of Cormyr as they're moving their influence east, supporting and rewarding these adventurers. And you have the people in Shadowdale giving what little aid they can. And you have the various people, like Randall Morin is trying to like retake Dagger Falls and Dagger Castle from the Zentrum installed stooge.
Agreed, Gary.
And that was in a story I wrote called To Slay a Black Raven. And that got de-emphasized by TSR because TSR wanted to borrow the name of the Zent villain, Malik. It turned out to be the name of a major character in Troy Denning's novels later. So they just didn't publish my short story. But that was Silvermorn, who's Randall Morin's younger sister. And she's living in a crevice on the outside of the castle and washing in the moat and creeping around by night, getting what eggs she can to eat and so on, trying not to be captured by the Zents. And Randall Morin calls on his buddy Florin and Florin Falconhand and two others, and the four of them take on the castle. They just ride in, and it's like high noon, and they take down all the Zents. And it was me as a really young kid having a power fantasy about these four guys take down the entire castle. So that's sort of the situation in Daggerdale at the time. It's no man's land.
Cool
a wild countryside.
All right, let's go ahead,
just one little thing. Meaning it's interesting. Meaning we have fantasy and we have castles and stuff, but not all. Meaning you go defensive, but in some that you can have different style of defenses. Meaning traditionally you can see that you build strongholds, you build the occasional really powerful on the good high cliff or somewhere, or you build like a big castle with impregnable walls and stuff, and you put all the eggs in one basket. That's one way of doing it. I think, but for Shieldlands, I said that the old Flan way of doing things, it was the opposite. You spread out the risks. You have small villages of maybe 50 or 100 or maybe up to 500 people. They build small round, reasonably well fortified within visible distance. So an enemy who attacked one could be then if you got attacked, all you need to do was wave a flag and scream a bit, and you will have 10 neighboring settlements coming and attack you.
Yeah.
So you can defend in different ways, and make, so don't have all the ones that are under threat gathering in big castles. Sometimes it might be smarter to spread out in tiny small towns. And like there's a part in Italy, or there's also a part in Kazakhstan, where everyone built a little tower, so to speak. So the whole town is full of 100 feet tall towers with arrow slits at the top, because everybody was scared of everybody. So everybody built their own tiny little fortification. So try and vary the style that different cultures and places deal with, and factions deal with threats, so to speak. Some they gang up in big, huge castles. Others spread out, go underground, or build tiny plethora of small ones. So use magic defenses or whatever it is. Try to vary it, because that makes it more fun, so to speak.
We got a lot to get to before we want to get this done. I want to hear all these, right?
Oh yeah, yes. Go on. Yeah,
right,
I just wanted to make that little comment.
Great question and great answers. Ed, answer this real quick. What's your favorite factions you play with in your game when you DM?
Oh boy, the Harpers.
That's what I thought.
Because they're always like front and center. Because they're the good guys, but they don't speak with one voice. Right. The Harpers are sort of like an armed Sierra Club. Or if you think about Aragorn in as you first see him through the eyes of the hobbits, okay, Strider. Okay, now what if there were 5 or 6 Aragorns and they don't agree with each other necessarily? They all have the same style. They're all these unwashed men coming out of the night, living hard with their weapons on them and their clothes. But they don't do the same necessarily. They got different styles and they disagree over what they should be doing. That's the Harpers. So they're always front row center. The Zhentarim are usually the bad guys, but not on stage as wizards strutting around, as spies. The Grima Wormtongues would be the unsubtle spies, but they're much subtler spies who just like watch and listen and then report when somebody comes through. And the somebody will be a merchant in a caravan, not anybody sinister. They don't walk around with signs around their neck saying, "Hi, I'm the villain." You know, so that's the sort of factions I use and local cabals, trading costers, 3 merchants in town who meet in somebody's upper room and say, "Look, we can't afford to compete here. So water clocks and any sort of Gondian mechanisms, I will specialize in those, but I'll leave you all the pottery, and we'll both leave Fernald over here. We'll let him have all the lotions and oils and unguents that are being, we won't compete with him." And they make a pact over a few drinks, okay, non-compete clause, and that's a cabal, and I have tons of them on all sides. And if you as an adventurers blunder in and you're offering the wrong guy a price on ointments, he'll look at you and say, "I don't deal in ointments. Go see so-and-so." And you don't realize you're trampling into the middle of a cabal's non-compete clause.
Just switching pages real quick here, just to answer a question in chat about get that book. Find it, get that book if you want to have your answers about Harpers. I mean, here's the best, one of the best references.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Go to the Harpers by Greenwood. So, okay. All right.
They let me write books in those days.
And they're awesome. All right, this one last one, and we'll continue back our next Greyhawk one. And I tried answering this for Big Mac. He's like, what's it going to take for Dark Elves and Forgotten Realms to pull Illustrate into Greyhawk? And I answered, I did already, because I love that deity. I use Illustrate myself, because he's doing a gray space thing. I mean, it's as simple as that, right? It's as simple as connections between worlds, right?
Yeah, and I'll have something to say about connections between worlds later on.
That is awesome.
Because we're going to get to when will I probably when I start, I might talk about Mordenkainen. You never know.
Oh, nice. Nice. You can keep him in Forgotten Realms, by the way. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
No. But you got to remember that, he did spend some time in Forgotten Realms getting his mind fixed.
Yeah.
And Elminster was at first, and then Elminster handed him on to Storm. And he and Storm and Elminster are real close, real buddies. I'll say no more at the moment. We'll get there.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on your surprise here, by the way. So. So yes. Where was I on this? Oh my God! The brain went numb again.
Next Greyhawk one.
Next Greyhawk one, number 4.
Okay.
Yes.
The Splintered Mind.
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
Members of this order are rejoicing over conquering the mind of a second ruler. So they now control the thoughts and deeds of 2 kings or city rulers, 2 secular rulers. No truth seeker will say which ones.
Mm-hmm.
And the Dead Wall
Halo.
in the monastery in Scant, where Scarlet Brotherhood notables the mind has eliminated, are put up, now displays 7 new names.
Interesting.
You're making Scant more and more interesting here.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
I love the ambiguity of it, but the way it's basically. And here comes Blue Box in. Good to see you. Hey Corey, thanks. Enjoy this great discussion tonight. We're having a blast with Ed, like we always do. It's such an honor every time Ed comes on. Hopefully, if you talk to John, tell him I said hello, and he's always in my thoughts and prayers. So hopefully everything is going well there. Yes. What time is it? 8:24. About 20 minutes. We'll have a little surprise. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. So we'll see.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I like pleasant surprises, and as opposed to the other kind.
Yes. So, by the way, giveaways, you get your choice. All right. Winner. We're gonna do 2 tonight. Here, look, reprints of Monster Manual 2, Fiend Folio, Greyhawk: The Adventure Begins by Roger Moore, the original folio, and Scarlet Brotherhood. You get your choice. And if you have all of them, I'll find something for you. So we're gonna do 2 of those. Oh, look at that, Jeremy, Gamescape 3D. And Ed, you met Jeremy. Jeremy's setting up all that terrain. Oh my gosh.
I'm looking at all. When you started tonight, we were touring it all, and I'm sitting there drooling.
Yes, and they'll be there again next year with Bill Master Crafter. It's gonna be so awesome. Cannot wait. It's gonna be a fun. This year's gonna be awesome. I mean, Ed, I know you're probably the same as me and Anna. All of us got so much love and street cred from Gary Kahn. I'm trying to fit everything in.
Yeah.
And it's hard to say no. So yeah, it's really hard to say no. But you have to sometimes. Someone hit us up with another resub or a 100 cheer to get this hype train going here. I'd appreciate it. Always appreciate that between Jeremy and the other cheer. So, all right, let's see what we got here. Ed, why don't we go back to Forgotten Realms number 5?
Okay. So
thanks, Shadow. Thanks, Lee.
I'll keep you waiting for Mordenkainen for one longer, and instead I'll go to the Emerald Enclave. The Emerald Enclave, these are the druids. These are the nice guys who want nature kept, in the ascendancy. And no true Enclave member can be good or evil. They cleave firmly to neutrality. However, the highest Enclave leaders, the Elder Circle of 3, often meet in secret with good or evil beings and groups to sway or bargain with them to act to further the greatest tenets of the Enclave. And these greatest tenets are 3. The order of nature must be preserved in all its iterations. Any force that would disrupt that order must be defeated, and the Enclave will always aid those left fatigued or suffering injury. Now, if you were in the realms, and here I'll just switch thingies here.
Okay.
Let's see what more I can tell you about who they're meeting with. And recently, the Elder Circle made a bargain with an evil adventuring band. Tharvruk's talons out of Nonsal in Termish to humble those currently in power in Nimpeth, which is a city in the Vilhan Reach. The rulers there began aggressively logging the mountainsides west of the city and terracing them for farming, and they've already caused several destructive mudslides as a result. The Talons have interpreted these orders from the Elder Circle to slay and replace. In other words, the Talons are going to take care of the rulership of Nimpeth and step into the rulership of Nimpeth. Now, other Elder Circle bargains have recently been made, but the wider realms isn't aware of them yet. Ta-da!
Beautiful. So, I'm hopeful that like people are going to hear this and you're going to take this in your game, because I know there's a lot of people playing the Forgotten Realms, and that they just run with it with some of these. So, and that's the wonderful thing about doing them. So, wow.
Yeah, I mean, eventually on my Patreon, I'll do a long video where I delve into possibilities for all of these, like at great length.
Which is cool, because we're helping you with your content there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, right now
awesome.
I'm just giving you the adventure hook.
Yes, the hooks.
That way you can go, no, I don't like that, or I like that one, but I'll have to twist it to fit my campaign.
Right.
Or can I take that out of the realms and dump it into Greyhawk, or vice versa? And yeah, that's totally like, just harvest what you want and ignore the rest. Like we were talking about earlier, when there's too much lore, just cherry pick what you like.
Or you can change the nature. Meaning you can keep the name the Scarlet Brotherhood, but you can look inspiration from the Red Magic Fae and then twist how your Scarlet Brotherhood works, and take a lot of inspiration and have them work in a way similar to some other faction in another setting. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, are we? One thing about the movie that really disappointed me was they mentioned Mordenkainen more than Elminster, which drove me freaking nuts. Right? And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Mordenkainen got a lot of love too.
Yeah, that drove me crazy though.
The Great Seal of Mordenkainen. It's sealed with the Great Seal of Mordenkainen. The Great Seal of Mordenkainen doesn't work that way, folks.
Yes, Ed. I was like, that's what I was thinking too. But poetic license, I guess, right?
Yes.
For a story. So, all right, number 5 on the Greyhawk realm here. What do we got?
Oh, let's go to the Seekers of the Arcade.
Oh yes, I love that. Oh, Gary created them. Gary Julian.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, he created the Seekers.
Here we go, Gary. I'm going to make you really happy by giving you a new toy to play with. So, a Seeker using the mission name, and that's a false moniker assumed for one expedition. So you can report in and nobody knows who you are, because that name will never be used again. Okay? So a Seeker using the mission name of Swordlar has found ancient magic hidden in a tomb under a house in the free city of Greyhawk. So what that means is somebody found this not so long ago, but it was interred with them when they died, because they never told anybody what it was. So, what it is the orb and the tear. Mentioned in some ancient texts, this linked pair of enchanted items consists of a crystal orb, so a rock crystal ball, sphere, quite small, and a small teardrop-shaped pendant gem. When a spell is cast into the orb, it can erupt from the gem, even if a continent away.
Oh, wow.
At a moment and in a direction or upon a spot of the gem wearer's choosing. So, a quote, unarmed gem wearer can visit, say, a meteor swarm into a crowded throne room. So, the delicate flower, Lady Estelle Suncher, 14-year-old gorgeous woman, young lady being presented at court for the first time. She walks in. She's wearing a really nice gown and this tiny little gem pendant at her throat. And she's presented to the and then she waits for the right moment, and then fries the king with a meteor swarm and all the courtiers around it. And then the sun walks out. There you go. So, the Seekers of the Arcane are looking for magic items and spells and spell books and powerful things, and they seek to safeguard them. Well,
Yes.
I think they'd guard this real closely myself.
And we don't have a true name for the orb and gem.
No, they're just called the Orb and Tear. And
Orb
they're
and
mentioned
Tear.
Okay. Yeah, tear as in teardrop.
Yep, tear.
Because it's a teardrop shaped pendant.
Got it. Because you know what I'm writing down right now?
Yeah.
Next time I run a Greyhawk adventure, my next high level adventure in Greyhawk City. Because of what you just said. I love it.
Okay. Okay, please don't kill 2 drink minimum with it.
No, I'm talking about with my group. I'm going to kill you all at the wedding. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Oh, it's going to be a red wedding. Okay.
No, it's not going to be a red wedding. It's going to be you get what you asked for wedding. You'll understand. Yes, yeah. I'm talking more about Venarium Vord. Yes, Eric's character. So
okay.
Yes. So Gary, that was awesome. I promise, just like I do with Les's lore that I love, that will go into an adventure in the near future. Next time I run something out of Free City Greyhawk, promise. That is awesome.
And you never know.
Yeah.
It might be one of those items that when you use it, it teleports away, or one of the two.
Right.
So it's a one shot.
It's a one shot. Get out, boom, and yeah. So absolutely, but you don't. If you have them both, you can have them if you don't use them. So please note the following on Eric Mona is still, even though he's starting to play the game, it'll be next week on Darling's channel coming up after we're on. But this is the first week of it. He's still in Hawaii. So once Eric gets back and gives me a Saturday night, I'm going to coordinate with Ed, and I have cast members on both sides for this joint wedding episode between the two groups. Just waiting to get Eric and Ed coordinated because they are both vital, and then we're going to add in as many 2 drink minimum and Slav Squad people as we can. All right, just note that is in the works.
It's going to be well.
That's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
Although I wish to say here and now that I'm not sure Eric Mona wants to marry Ed. So it may have to be somebody else.
Yes, well, yes, it's going. 2 members of the Slav Squad declared their love for each other at the end of the adventure at Gary Con, and Venarium Vord offered to marry them, and that's where we go. But we have to have you the 2 drink minimum there. So yeah, better be an open bar. Yes, there's going to be an open bar. It's at Vineyard Gardens. It's not at the Salty Dog. So you guys are stepping up in the world. So yeah, but wow, Ed, I love this Seekers of the Arcane one. This is my favorite one so far. And so much so that I am incorporating it into an adventure. So
there you go. That was easy.
Oh, that was home run. Absolute home run. And Gary agrees. So very cool. All right. So we're through 5. 10 minutes to our surprise. I think I've coordinated it properly. And yeah. So let's go with number 6, right, Anna? Go with the 6th one. How's that? How's that? We're definitely going late tonight, everyone. Just
for the record, I don't know what this surprise is. So
no, you don't. No, you don't.
It would be awesome to watch.
No, you don't.
So yeah. Yep. So just to so everybody yeah.
Mm-hmm. You do not.
Wow, so I'm all excited now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So let's go back to the realms.
Okay.
For number 6, the Harpers.
Yes.
You spoke of the Harpers. So after she rescued several of his clergy and nursed them back to health, Azuth, the god of wizards, Azuth, recently granted Storm Silverhand a personal boon. She can now see and hear through any Harper pin she concentrates on, anywhere on Toril. And so, scry afar and become aware of the doings and fates of distant Harpers. She and fellow chosen Amaroon Whitewave are expanding the network of Harper gates, or portals if you prefer, across Faerun, and even to Earth, as her friendship with the mage Mordenkainen has strengthened and flourished in the wake of her tending him back to sanity. He, Elminster, and Storm are now very close friends. Mordenkainen keeps the earth ends of these gates secret from others in his world. But, I can go into this more deeply, but I would guess that the Obsidian Citadel probably an outlying tower of the Obsidian Citadel. So if something went wrong, Mordenkainer can cut it off from the rest of the Citadel with at least heavy doors. Would probably be one of the. And I also think, just off the top of my head here, that an unassuming upper room of an aging weaver in the artisans' quarter, free city of Greyhawk, might be another gate end in Greyhawk.
Nice.
So there you go. We're now strengthening the connection. So if you want to have worship of Elistri come into,
it's already in mine.
Greyhawk. Yeah, there you go. I mean, you could have a priestess come in, and everybody's going, "Who the heck is this drow?" You know.
So
and
Ed, I already have Elistri. We call him the Stormlord because I think there's a missing one there. Talos. I love the Stormlord, and the Red Knight. Mm-hmm. I know I don't like the third brother of those two. You know, that's dead. I love the Red Knight. It's one of my favorites. So you know, with the knight with the the chest piece. Who created that deity, by the way? Was that Eric?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, it was Eric. Yeah, it's a real good deity. Yeah. All right, so great one there on number 6. I really love that tie-in. I won't have Harper. I promise I won't have Harpers running around Greyhawk, but that doesn't mean that there can't be some inner world coordination for something. I could see the Order of Ulick doing that. My organization. You know, so that would be cool. The Orban tier might be how they took out Adaluk suicide bomber. That's another point there, Gary. Another good idea because that fight is never described how it happens. That's a true point with Adaluk and Tensor being permanently destroyed in that fight with Rari. So that's a good point, Gary. Real good point. See, you're thinking around the lore mix now. That is awesome. All right, let's go to number 6 for Greyhawk.
Okay, so let's go to the silent ones.
Okay.
Ooh. Wanderers of this order have recently met with senior anchorites of this order to request that 4 junior anchorites be assigned to new duties, suggesting that the Wanderers have found 4 places of great magical power that need to be guarded. No details have leaked out of where or what these sites are, but at least one may be in the Flaneas.
Okay. Cool. Silent ones and the Seekers don't get along.
Yeah.
So that's another Gary one. See, yes. When you have great stuff, Gary, it gets utilized, and that's always been. Ed has always said that. If you have good stories, they're gonna get used, and so there you go. What was your organization like? The Harpers that Gord was with?
Gord the Rogue.
Yeah. Someone in chat will know. Someone in chat we'll get that real quick there because I'm not a big. I read the books, but I'm not an aficionado of all the details and lore of it. Lord for someone will answer that. All right, so I'm looking here. Still haven't popped on. Okay, so we're at 6 each. So let me just see if there's any quick questions. Grooby says he loves the Red Knight as a deity. Sometimes I get to play one of our holy strategists. Grooby, I have them. I have Bill's got a high level specialty priest of the Red Knight in my campaign as it is. So we have some. All right, people are being quiet. We're rolling here, so people are being kind of quiet without questions here. One of my moments is Gary kind of over the 2:30 to 4 discussion with Ed. Yes, there, Curtis. Wonderful discussion. And I was in dreamland by then because I was feeling like crap that Saturday night. I don't know how you did it, man. I know it was a rough Saturday morning, man. And you're up to 4 a.m. Oh my gosh. So, but hey,
conventions are for the fans.
Yeah, true.
And for everybody who goes to all that time and trouble and spends all that money to travel there. And if they want to talk to you, if they want you to sign something, if they want to ask you a question, they've earned that.
Yes.
So
definitely.
Yeah. So if it's 3 a.m. and somebody is asking me to explain something about Elminster's codpiece or whatever, I stop and do so because it's their moment. They have loved your world setting. they have bought your stuff and used it, and they have a question about it, hey, it's their time.
Yep.
It's your paths may never cross again. I may be dead in a year. They may be dead in a year. This is their chance. So I'm going to give it to them. And it doesn't matter how tired I am. It does matter if I'm in a rush to get to something that it has been promised I will be doing, like a panel or whatever, a game. If I'm on the docket to be there, then it's disappointing a whole bunch more people who are waiting. But aside from that one thing, like, yeah, if somebody knocked on my door at 2 a.m. and I'm still awake, and I hear them over my snoring, and they say, hey, could you possibly sign this, or could you give me this answer? I'm going to stop and give it to them because it's their time. And yes, there are times when I think, why am I doing this? Why am I going without sleep? Well, it's because that's what they're there for. I just have to have gotten enough sleep. I don't die at the wheel on the way home because I fell asleep. That's the only thing. But aside from that, it's like, hey, that's what it's for. That's why I keep going. I know when I go to a con, I'm going to be beating myself up for a week. And I know I'm going to get the con cred because I'm shaking hands, I'm hugging, I'm signing things, I'm talking to people. And, I've had people, and I had people at GaryCon who came rushing up to meet me and then burst into tears because they were so overcome with the moment. So I just hugged them and gave them time to bring it down, and have their moment, because they were like getting frustrated that they couldn't get the words out because they were so overcome. So you give them their time. It's their time. And yeah, that's how you keep going, because you think, okay, it's really important to these people.
Yeah, and don't do 2 conventions in one go, because then you get double con cred like I did.
Yeah, man. Never again on 2
I'm still
weekends.
only halfway over it, so it's bad.
Oh, Tim, you still got con cred? I'm sorry to hear it. So.
Yeah. I'm still
still awaiting our surprise here. So why don't we go to number 7 on Forgotten Realms?
Okay, the Lord's Alliance. Okay. So the Lord's Alliance is this political organization of the rulers of people in the north, like Silvery Moon and Waterdeep and Neverwinter, and smaller places in between, like Yartar and Longsaddle and so on. Okay, so rumors are spreading throughout the courts of members of this alliance that an unidentified alliance member has offered freedom and rewards to certain incarcerated inmates of Revel's End in return for carrying out a dangerous mission.
Dirty dozen.
The nature of this mission is violent. It is an expedition. And, or so the rumors run, it may be directed at one or more alliance members. Suspicions as to who is behind this offer are swirling around Lord Neverember of Neverwinter, the Harpelts of Longsaddle, and Water Baron Nestra Ruthiol of Yartar. Wahahaha! So, if you remember the movie, and you remember the prison, the frigid prison, right at the beginning, that's Revel's End. And that's where the dangerous criminals are incarcerated, because in theory, if they escape, there's nowhere they can go, and they'll die trudging out of the frigid. And, strangely enough, our 2 heroes don't die. But, so in Revel's End, a whole bunch of nasty people are locked up. And somebody is making deals with them to spring them early if they do certain little unsavory things. What will those things be?
Time. Well, there's one.
Woo!
And where's Courtney? Oh, here she comes. So that another awesome one.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hi.
Hello.
Okay.
There you go.
Hey.
Hi.
I just
Hi,
ran
Ed.
home. I just ran home from work. I'm still in my scrub top.
That's okay.
Well, you can take it off. We won't mind.
Okay. Hey, all. Hey.
Hi, Anna. How are you?
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Yep.
Anna.
So
Double con cred, but I'm getting over it slowly.
Yeah, I'm still getting over my Concred cough as well, so I feel you on that.
I hate that y'all caught it. I didn't know you got sick too, Anna. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. No worries. It was double con and it was so much fun, so it's worth it.
Quick.
It was definitely worth it.
It was, for sure.
So let me give you my Canadian military way of getting rid of Concred.
Oh no, Ed.
It involves
give it to me.
Whiskey. Okay.
Yep.
Be alone. Be somewhere where you don't mind if you get in a mess. Now pour yourself a tiny shot of whiskey. Don't drink it. Pour it up your nose. And by the time you've finished coughing, gasping, weeping, your sinuses will be cleaned out.
Yeah, no crud is left. So yeah.
I feel like I shouldn't be listening to this wearing a scrub top.
Yeah.
So here's the story. It's Wednesday afternoon. Founders and Legends over. Coco and Bird get in Tuesday night, and then Wednesday afternoon comes, and I hear that there's going to be Tower of Gygax, and Ed's going to run it. And I go to Curtis and Brett. I say, please save me 2 seats. We're coming. Run over there. And so for the first game ever in person, because they've been playing on my channel for a while, but in person, go ahead, tell the story from that point, Ed. First time ever.
I was just running Tower of Gygax.
Yes,
and there were these beautiful ladies sitting at the table.
That was so much fun.
For their first game ever with a DM in person, it was at Greenwood.
So, I know. I'm like, holy shit! I feel like the luckiest person ever. Either Ed or Anna would have been a great Anna. I keep saying Anna. I just watched Frozen the other day. I'm so sorry.
No, this is great. Yeah,
I hate it, but no, that would have been amazing.
I'm trying.
I hope to catch one of your games, Anna, if you do it next year too.
I'm looking to see. I'm trying to find if I have any of those pictures.
I heard in Anna's game, don't get attached to your characters.
Well, unless I'm playing and then I survive right there. So yes.
Look at there. And look at there, we have Jim Zub.
Awesome.
I know.
Sitting just beside Coco is Jim Zub, who is helming the current Marvel Conan comics.
Right.
I had no idea who he was until after the game. And we were like, we were just sitting next to him.
Yeah. And if you've seen all those young person's guide to all the D&D stuff, those little hardcover books, he and his wife, Stacy, do those books.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And see, I kind of recognized who he was from like Twitter and stuff too. So I know at the very beginning, I was quiet as hell because I was just starstruck watching you talk. Like, I could listen to him talk all day. And then Jim, I'm like, oh God, what do I do?
Yeah.
This is the phone sex version of me. But the thing is, I felt bad because I had to do a stint and then go because I had other stuff on my docket, on my schedule. We should have adventured for an hour because I got you, the Merilith comes on in her I'm grateful for all your dead t-shirt and then says, hi fellas. And then I had to go and you never got to play with the Merilith. She's fun.
Oh, she sounds like you'd make her fun.
And she's not necessarily...
Sounds like a great time.
Yeah, she just wants to do what she wants to do. And if you'll play with her, she'll play with you. So she doesn't necessarily kill you or anything. She may end up helping you if you do the right thing. Ralashaz, however, will not. He's up on the catwalk casting spells down into the mists on you. But I mean, it was great to play with you. But next time
it was great to play.
We need to play longer.
Agreed.
I like playing
totally
longer.
Agree.
Yep.
So
When it's over too quick, it's not really as fun.
Those 2 hours go past so quickly.
They go by fast.
Yes.
Yeah,
they
and
do.
I don't mean to make it sound all lewd, but I like to play with you.
No,
Right.
I would love it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, what we have to do is I have to persuade Josh or Luke and Bush or whoever. Okay, we need to set aside at least a 3-hour slot, maybe a 4-hour slot, to play with these specific people.
Well, it's Ed. You just gotta know who to grease. I do it all the time.
Oh,
at Gary Con, right? So I can teach you how to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So you just gotta tell Josh what you want. I'm sorry, is Josh on? I better not say this if he's on.
Because
I'm kidding.
I see.
He's got a lot of good friends in low places.
Exactly. You just
And
need,
while you're
that's
Like
how I
Todd
get the game.
Stashwick.
Yeah. Oh, everyone's. Here goes my balls, First round. Yeah. Thank you very much. Oh my
We're all
gosh.
thinking the same thing.
I know. It's all out of love. Everyone's busting my stones. It's okay. I appreciate it so very
Okay,
much.
so you're saying Jay needs a B-day for Christmas? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I need something. So I want to share this pick. It's one of my favorites because there's me, Curtis, there's Coco, Bird, Brett. There's Bash licking Brett's head. There's Chad, Vamp Wickman, Anna, Ed, and Yoav, who's on.
Yep.
So what a great. This is
Yes.
Wednesday. No, this isn't. Is this what night's this?
Tuesday.
Yeah.
This is
I mean,
Tuesday night. The
that
first,
was
yeah.
like-
night.
So
That's
we were
Tuesday
still,
night,
that
yeah.
early
That
in
was
the
right
week.
after we got there.
Yeah, that's
literally,
Tuesday
we
night.
got there at like 9 o'clock. We literally
Yeah.
were driving all day.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I
Why
look
we
so
look like
tired
that.
because we just drove like 15 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. So that was
Yep.
that was a
And
great.
I wish that you guys hadn't been so tired, because I could have sat there and listened to Anna and Edge tell war stories all night.
We had a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yes, a
I
lot of
know,
stuff.
me too.
Yep.
I felt so bad being so tired, but I know it was showing because everybody kept asking, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm good. I just drove 15 hours."
Exactly.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
But I know when we got there, we
good.
did get this new energy because we were meeting everybody for the first time. We were there finally, so we got like this new energy come through. We were able to sit down and for a couple of hours and talk to everybody and laugh with everybody. Tell amazing stories and take awesome pictures. It was
Well,
awesome.
Here's
Mhm.
the thing. This is the one tragedy of it not being the Playboy Club anymore.
There you go.
No, I mean, no, I don't mean that way. What I mean is, when it was the Playboy Club, we could have filled you full of food and drink at that bar. They would not have been closing the bar down. And if you'd fallen asleep in your seats, somebody would just come and gotten blankets and put them over you, and we could have gone on partying. And when you woke up 2 or 3 hours later saying, "I have to pee," they'd say, "Right over there," and then
Then you can just continue. Yeah.
yeah, you could continue.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
we can't do that next year. Can we just ask them if we can do
We
that
could
next
probably
year?
wing it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
could
mean-
probably.
As long as
yeah.
it's not 2
Blankets.
weekends, I can do anything.
Bring
That
blankets.
2 weekends was
Oh
killer.
come on,
Yeah.
GJ.
Yeah.
You were great. You were in high. for
Yeah,
10
I
days
was a
straight.
little.
Yeah.
I was a little
No,
off.
but you
I
were
was a little
hitting it.
off. We all
I
know
was
that.
falling asleep
No,
at
you
2
were
drink
awesome,
minimum, and
but-
you were soldiering on.
You
True,
were
Yeah, I
true.
ruling it every night, Jay, for 10 days straight. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we could just
Agreed.
bring extra briefs. I mean, don't forget I'm a nurse. I have supplies.
that's
IV bags. Yeah. that's-
IV,
I
yeah.
IV bags when it gets
Yep.
really nasty. Yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
Yeah.
this is
I
another
do the
one of my
Irish car
favorites
bombs.
right here with Bird and Coco and my good friend Todd Stashwick here talking with his friends, and also Carlos Lysing. This is one of my favorite picks that was
People
taken.
are going to
Yeah.
think that's
That
his
was an
name.
awesome
My
Gabbin.
good friend.
It was.
Yeah.
I was kind of staring at Todd right there, if you can't tell.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was
Well,
just smiling, looking like, "Hi."
yeah.
I was definitely trying to act normal whenever he would like look at you and talk to you, and you just didn't want to go.
Oh,
great guy. Thanks, Josh. I'm always a little
He is
off.
a great guy.
Oh, he is.
a great guy.
Yeah,
He
he was a
definitely
great guy.
is.
So let me see if I think that's what
I
pictures
felt the
was
same way at this table too, but I was like, I gotta talk. I have to talk at some point. Okay.
Yeah,
Saturday.
I
it
could
was
listen to
awesome
you.
though.
I could just listen to you DM all day, Ed.
For real.
Just
We
saying.
can all do that.
Wow.
Yep. mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
I know.
I
We're
mean, I
buttoning
could
up.
just listen to you all
Wow.
day.
We're buttering up Ed
Wow.
for a reason, everyone.
I mean,
Just-
I've been
just-
watching your YouTube videos lately.
There you go. That's great because there's no
Yes.
better
Mhm.
person to
Enter my-
learn from than
enter
Ed.
my
Jay gave us
corruption
all
field.
ice cream one day. That was awesome.
That was
too.
at that. It
Yeah.
was at
Oh,
that
yeah.
too. That was
Oh,
at that.
that was
I'm
so
just-
good.
I
Yeah.
don't think I
Yeah,
have
it
any others
was.
with all right. So this is Bird and Coco are off screen here. This is
Well, that's
we-
fine. This
Robert
weekend-
Hartley, AJ, and all the trolls, and
yes.
Robert Phantom.
Mhm.
Yeah, here and Ed here. This was a great
Yep.
part. This is later. This is round 3. We went through 4 full rounds of people at that
And-
during that. That's
and
round 3.
those-
It's after the
And
ice
those
cream.
2 folks beside me have traveled a very long
Yep.
way from New
Yes,
Zealand and
exactly.
Australia,
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
respectively. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that was good. I know Armin was on here. Von Molke was on here earlier. Let me see. Any
Mhm.
others here? Is that the same one or is that different? Oh, here's all right. This is at the end. All right, there we go. Here's another one of all these. So, and this is we got Mike, we got Will.
Aw.
Greyhawk
Yeah.
Mike, we got Will, And then there's you, Ed, and all the ladies. So what a wonderful. I mean, just some
And
great
Duff's
pictures.
head.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Duff's
And
bald
Duff's
head there. Yes. When he sees BattleTech characters, BattleTech characters bald is just as bald as he is. It's hysterical. It looks just like him. So
above and below.
That is awesome.
So please feel free. Ed's given us some great lore. If you got to go, that's great. If you want to hang a little bit and just listen, that's fine too. Whatever. I know you just got home from work, Bird. So whatever you want.
I'm good.
You're good.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm still in my scrub top. I just came inside and just like ran up the stairs, and I told my girls, I'm like, I'll see y'all in a minute.
Okay.
Love you.
That sounds good. That's because we are on. I believe we are on 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. I think we got 7 of each, right? Or we got 6 Greyhawk. I got down. I think you're on Greyhawk number 7, right? You just did
okay. Great. Greyhawk number 7. So that would be Knights of the Heart.
Beautiful.
3 senior knights of the High Forest, Belfius Dune, Arler Halacom, and Blaze Sandranter, have decided that the best way to protect high folk and the reaches of the forest, the Vesve Forest, is to attack the forces of Ayuz in the easternmost verges of the forest and the lake shores beyond to the east, in raids, not invasions, becoming aggressors rather than defenders for the first time ever. So best defense is an offense.
I love that because I have a Vesve Forest campaign too, Ed. I run a lot of up there, higher level, so very cool. Love that one. All right, so that's 7 of each. 2 more to go for new lore for both Forgotten Realms and Greyhawk. Some great stuff. One, Bird and Coco was so wonderful for us for me that I'm going to run an adventure out of Greyhawk City based off of it. With the Seekers, yeah, it's really
nice.
Yep. I just make this shit up,
Hey, it's good shit.
That's right.
It's golden
shit, man. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
It's golden shit.
Yeah. Tell that to my outhouse. Okay.
So one other thing, Ed and I were talking in Discord, and Ed said some really kind things about all the community, and said especially 2 very kind things about the both of you. So just note that, and that's kind of I wanted to share that with everyone in the community. So.
Yeah, I mean, for your first convention, you done good.
Oh,
I mean, you drove all that way and dropped as 2 very tired people. You dropped into the middle of things. It must have been noisy and overwhelming of all these people getting stinking all around you and misbehaving as gamers do in this sort of socially awkward way that gamers do. And you just sort of said, "Oh, we can take this. We can fit in
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, we took it and we ran with it.
That's it. Enjoyed every
and then we blended in with it.
That's just because the community is so amazing too, though. That speaks volumes on all of you guys too. I mean,
agreed.
If it wasn't for everybody being so welcoming and so nice, especially for the first con, and for y'all being so badass, it wouldn't have been nearly as good as it was. So, and from me and Bunny, and I'm sure everybody else here watching and listening too, thank you guys for making it so much fun and so amazing.
Yes.
And let's hope.
Thank you, everybody. It was awesome.
Of course. I'm assuming
y'all are making. I know y'all are making me and Bird really look forward to next year for sure.
Beautiful. Oh yeah, and if it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't be wanting to DM soon. But I want to DM in the next few months, so I'm like, okay.
Awesome. Yep.
I didn't think I ever would want to do that, and now I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I think you'd be great at it. I really do.
That'd be fun.
Yep.
Yeah. And Ed, we played yesterday morning too, the Nuclear Meat Group, and I didn't kill any of them. They in fact kicked my ass, and it was a bunch of drow. And they fought and a Bahir at the end, and they kicked the crap out of it because they did something I didn't expect. But
that's fun when that happens too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So every third battle should go the player's way, roughly, something like that. Should be
absolutely.
Very, very
it was
easy.
Good. Sometimes that's the way it goes.
That's because Oranthera kicked your ass.
She did, the duelist. She did. The whole group did.
She did. She
the
did.
Whole group did. And they're all
fun.
But we got 5 new members of the Order of Yulik out of it.
Yep.
Yes, my knighthood. They all joined. So.
Wow.
It's hilarious. Now both mine and Bird's characters are in the
Order of Yulik
now.
Yep. I'm an evil genius, Ed.
I am now.
Yeah, I can tell that. An evil genius who takes his ass kicking and smiles.
That's it.
Going.
So, all right. If you guys want to ask some quick questions, look, we're already over time. Ed, you're good for a little longer?
I'm always good.
All right, so we're going to go as long as we feel like it tonight. And I think just hang in there, everyone. By the way, what I'm going to do is, because we had that massive hype train, with your reference book giveaway, I'm going to add an adventure as well. So each winner, there'll be 2 winners, will get 2 of these. We'll get 2 reprints.
Oh, nice.
Okay? So there you go. So I'm giving away 4 reprints tonight, courtesy Patrick Canadian Ancient Gamer. And then we'll go over all the other great stuff coming up on the channel at the end. And if you work Gary Con, ride the wave. Don't stop. Keep on pushing with your content. That's what I'm doing off of it. So, all right. Number 8, Ed, for Forgotten Realms.
Okay. The Order of the Gauntlet.
Ooh, bless you. Ooh.
Sorry. I'll be here. I got to stop my video for a second because my daughter needs
Yeah,
me for a
no
second.
problem. No problem.
Yep.
It's all good.
Go.
It's all good.
Go.
It's all good.
Yep. Certain members of this order have decided that corrupt rulers in Shirtalar and the cities of the Tashalar, who have accumulated great wealth in personal vaults through excessive taxation and seizures from citizens they rule and others who come within their reach, are guilty of evil acts, and they should be overthrown, and the order should distribute such wealth as equitably as possible amongst their populaces, but then withdraw and take no part in deciding which new rulers arise, even if there is local strife and bloodshed. Not all order members agree with this view, but elements of this order are moving to suspect cities to determine the truth, locations of the vaults, and how to defeat the tyrannical forces of these rulers. Ta-da.
Nice. Very cool. That's number 8.
Mm-hmm.
I want chat. I want someone to say yes so far for the 8 Forgotten Realms. All you FR players, like I think Ruby and a bunch of others, are any of you going to use any of these threads? Please tell me yes, because I'm using some Greyhawk ones. So, and I love the crossover with the Harpers and the Greyhawk. I love that. So please let me know if there's one that you really love or that you may incorporate it into your Forgotten Realms game. And let me know that. I know Curtis asked a question off of one, which is fantastic. So, okay.
That's cool.
Let's go, Ed, number 8 in Greyhawk.
Oh, Knights of Holy Shielding.
Uh-oh, here's Anna, right up Anna and me both. Yep.
Certain senior members of this order have recently come to the belief that Horned Society spies have not only infiltrated ruling courts all over Earth, they have risen to positions of policy-making and influence, and also infiltrated the rival Order of the Knights of the Heart, goading this order into rash and aggressive actions that must be stopped. I just mentioned them previously. So the Knights of the Heart are henceforth to be considered not just rivals, but evildoers and outright foes. And no rulers are to be trusted until Holy Shielding members can identify and exterminate the Horned Society elements among their courtiers. Wahaha.
Damn, now you got me inspired here.
That's it. That's right up. That's an Anna softball right there. Right? Knock it right out of the park.
In with the thing that the Knights of Holy Shieldings are more do-gooders, religious based, and Knights of the Heart are more political and stuff. So they will be more susceptible to that type of corruption too. So it fits into my idea of differentiating what they're doing and how they operate too. So yep. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Knights of the Horn Society.
Yep.
Knights of the Holy Shielding of the Horn
you
Society.
gave me a lot of cool ammunition for my games here. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll have to flip.
King Belvor is in trouble. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'll flip this file to Jay to flip to you. So I mean,
yep.
Then we can
awesome.
promote it and so that people can.
So
get
also a quickie announcement about Ed. Ed doesn't know this yet, but I know he said yes on this. So I think it'll be number 4, not number 3, but number 4 on the Grey Grimoire, which will be fall. I'm taking Ed C. Lacra deity stuff he gave me and adding what I'm doing in my campaign and the Doom Grinder to the back of it, and it'll be a joint article by Ed and me, okay, for submission into the Grey Grimoire. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew.
Nice.
Okay. So just note that. Yeah.
And Little Bird and Coco, if you ever want to get into this article writing game and you want to collaborate on something,
there you go. Wow, look at that. Ed offering collaboration, which is
yeah. I will find any possible way and avenue to do that. So that works.
Cool. Yeah.
For sure.
And,
so,
and
100%.
And if it's a first time collaboration, we write and it's yours.
Wow, that's an awesome offer.
That's awesome.
So here's a suggestion: joint write, and because both your characters on each level or in my game are friends, right? At higher level, you could write about their experiences outside the game, like what they're doing in Selene or what they're doing in their downtime and stuff, and then incorporate that into maybe meeting Ed's Ravalantar or something like that. I mean, and then have Ed contribute his part. Just an idea.
Oh, that's cool.
That's an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just thinking outside the box here. Some ideas that
definitely.
I'd be 100% on. I have no problem with that. Just like I said, I like other DMs or DM for the Slav Squad now. It's okay. We want this community to grow. So it's always just some ideas.
It's all about making friends and hanging out.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So
100%.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool. All right, so why don't we
say?
Just say, hey, thank you both for coming on and surprising Ed. I knew he'd love it. So.
Yeah, no, thank you for letting us surprise him. It was awesome.
No, thank you for. Thank you for letting me be here. I mean, I'm sorry it was a little bit late.
No, you're working as a nurse. It's okay.
It was a long shift, but I'm happy to be here.
Hey, well, thank you. No, I love having you drop in and crash the party. This is
That's
great.
it. I knew you would.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I'm not.
It's like Vince and Wedding Crashers.
Hey, if you play in my Fate of the Norns game at GaryCon every year, you too can have Vince crash your wedding. He always plays in my game.
I know.
So what we'll do is this. What we'll do is we'll find out some little tidbits of who's going to be where, and then get in it, and then because there's ways to pre-sign people up, right? And then like you have 5 seats open, but you already have 2 other players. I do that all the time. So
myself right now.
So there you go.
And Vince is fun. He's very down to earth. He's not nose in the air, and he gets into the game and he says, "Can I try this? Can I do this?" It's great fun.
That's awesome.
I'm sure he does.
That's
He seems like he'd be amazing at D&D and amazing to watch too. That'd be awesome.
I think he DMs sometimes for Joe, doesn't he? Or does Joe do DMs exclusively? I thought they traded. I thought they went back and forth.
I think they trade. Yeah,
I think they would go back and forth.
And you'll get Tom Manganello, Joe Manganello, and Tom thrown into the mix. Usually.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Very cool.
And the Big Show.
Yeah,
I saw that picture. I saw that. It was so cool seeing him. I was like, no freaking way. He's here at GaryCon.
Yep. Oh, that was fun. Yeah.
So,
awesome.
One more of each, and then we'll get some questions from Ed, do some shout-outs, and do the giveaways. So, go for it, Ed. Number 9 on Forgotten Realms, your 9th one. You did 18 things of lore for us. So.
Because I had 2 hours. It's okay. Seriously. Yeah, I had 2 hours. So, the Shadow Thieves.
Mm-hmm.
Certain cloak masters among this far-flung organization have gone rogue. They are deeming the shades of the guild's ruling Shadow Council have strayed so far from just enough thievery to live on while nurturing local communities and marks so the Shadow lifestyle could comfortably continue into high-profile politics and becoming a worldwide power, that they were no longer true Shadow Thieves. So the Cloakmasters have begun to work to assassinate the Shades or find magical means to control their minds. Some of these Cloakmasters are working with ambitious Illithids. The name Sulukrul has surfaced of a mind flayer sorcerer dwelling in secret under Athkatla in Om. And beholders, notably a magic item crafting beholder mage known as Eilis Yurko, who lurks somewhere in or under the troll claws. northeast of Baldur's Gate and west of Triel.
Nice.
So, haha.
So
underlings gunning for the rulers.
Are your Shadow Thieves shades? Do they become shades in your game, or
no? That's just a title.
That's just a title. Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah, the ruling council of the Shadow Thieves.
Okay.
There's usually 8 of them. Call themselves
shades. Okay.
Nothing to do with.
Thank you.
Okay.
Very cool. Very awesome. I love that.
And that leaves us with just the Knights of the Watch. Back to Greyhawk.
Knights of the Watch and the Crystal Mists and Geoff and Sterich. Yep, here we go.
So, expansion of Eriko Castle, one of their strongholds in the Barrier Peaks. Don't worry about looking for it in the lore. I just made it up.
That's okay.
I'm looking for a place for it. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Broke into an underground stronghold, storing many magical helms and shields that give wearers battle might in the form of ravening beams and rays. There are disputes among the Knights Banneret as to how to use these, and some of them have let slip the secret of the order, so word has got out, and spies and would-be thieves are converging. Dun dun dun.
Almost sounds like a cache of Helms of Brilliant types. Yeah, remember those from the old Dungeon Master's Guide? So overly powered, but
one
like
you
different
only
variants.
gave out once.
One time.
Yeah.
Wow. But there could be different variances of them. But the original Helm of Brilliance was so nasty. But that's cool. That is awesome. I love them all, Ed, for both realms. For both worlds. Just and the level of detail you bring in and help create, and hopefully all the DMs out there and all the players and everyone appreciates it as much as I do, because it's
Hey, no problem. It's just fun creating. It makes the world seem more alive. You create new stuff and they feel alive.
I've always said your goal is to breathe life into your campaign so it's real. It actually becomes a fantasy setting, which is real. What could be not more real than Coco L0 having a character that's engaged to an NPC at this? I mean, I'm just saying, as an example, real life stuff's going on behind the adventuring, right? Behind the scenes. That could be good or bad or whatever, and that breathes life into the campaign. Yeah. So.
And let's face it, look at the real world we find around us. I'd rather be in the realms.
Yeah, well,
Greyhawk. Despite all the monsters and the evil magic and all sorts of people poisoning you and liches dropping by to share your bedchamber, all that fun stuff, it's still safer and more welcoming than our real world. So I think that every tax time. I think, I'd rather be in the realms.
And we have to exist a little bit in the real world.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
some of us more and less than others, but we do have to have that, that we are in that a little bit. So I did ask if anyone has any questions for Ed or any of the other panel members. Please feel free in this last couple minutes here. But I will say that I'm always looking forward. Once we even get close to getting these done, I'm always looking forward to the next one. I'm always looking forward to the next game DMing for you, Ed. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
So if you don't, let me tell the end of this. Let me tell the quick end of the story on, which is not the end of the story. So, and I'll show one of the best pictures ever that Anna took, that she took for the end of Two Drink Minimum's game. And I don't know if you saw it, but it was fantastic. Let me bring that up real quick. And it looks like I turned my transition stinger off when I was doing a short on here, but who cares? So yeah, all right, there we go. So let me see if I can find it here. It's going to be here. So they go down. The funny thing is that Ed's character and Orist, which was played by Stephen Danielson real well. These are the knowledge. Look at it. This pick is unbelievable, Anna. What a great! I mean, it's one of the best picks I've ever seen.
Awesome.
It's just
that's a great picture.
It is. So
thank you. Yeah.
They go down. They get the shaft mine, elevator, and they have to split the group up because I'm notorious for splitting the party up and making them split. So all the mages stay up top. Oh no, we'll go second. Except, that's not true. Bill Meinhardt's Fighter Mage Thief went down. So we had Chuck's character, Alex playing, Telegord, and then we had Tony Winslow Brill. She's a Fighter Mage too, and so they all went down. But the two hardcore mages stayed up top. You see that big ore pile in the back here? Well, there's a dragon hidden in it, right? And it comes out. It comes out, and unfortunately, I don't have any future pictures of that. It's not a green dragon. It's a Greenwood dragon from the Troller Games made up. And I started messing, and there's a stone golem in there and that, and they breathe spores, and I start kicking the crap out of them. Well, Ed's getting frustrated at the end, I can tell, because the Greenwood Dragon has up a minor globe. I always minor globe Ed because I know it drives him crazy. Right, so I can't cast I can't cast my many jaws or anything. So he goes over and he's got this ruby of teleportation. I think he's got one charge left. And what does he do? He touches the dragon. The dragon's almost dead, but he's like, I've had enough, and teleports it into a previous adventure where he knows it's going to be stuck. And I thought that was pretty genius. Yeah, and it failed its save, teleported away, but the dragon's not dead. So the dragon eventually, one day, will get out somehow.
It's going to have to starve itself, like Thember shot in the movie, to get out.
True. Yeah. But when it does, in the future adventure...
Oh, yeah. I'm going to have a homecoming.
So we have a good story there from this great game. Yeah, and so that is some of the things that I love about playing with Ed. And it's pissed off. Yeah, Chris, it's pissed off.
And I'm thinking, 5 years from now, Jay and I will be, making sure our dentures are in place.
Yeah.
We'll be playing at the thing, and Jay will look up and he'll describe the dragon's head coming in the door of the bedchamber.
Some other pictures.
And Ravalantar is trapped in bed, and he'll say, "Care for a little fire, Scarecrow?" And I know it'll be game on.
Yep.
Well, that's going to happen from something that happened almost 5 years ago at Virtual GreyHawk 1 in the wedding. So I've been waiting. It's the chickens are going to come home to roost.
Oh, he likes chicken.
Yes. And everyone's a casualty. So I didn't see any questions in chat. I can't believe it for Ed. I know you guys may have been questioned out earlier, so I'll give you all another minute before we start closing things up. Yeah.
It looks like Bogart wrote a question.
Did he? I missed it
a minute ago. What TTRPG systems or editions does Ed prefer to play most frequently?
Thank you, Bert. I missed it.
You're good.
Well, most frequently it has to be D&D because I'm always playtesting something, or I'm going back to an earlier edition of the game to do something for something I'm writing or designing. It's sort of professional thing. The ones I run the most these days, Fate of the Norns, because I'm always running them at conventions for Pendelhaven. So I end up exploring another little corner of Achli, Viking World Dublin. So I end up doing those. One of the ones I enjoy, both playing and running, is Call of Cthulhu. And then there are ones that I'm trying out. Like I just played in a play session of The World Below, which is an Onyx Path, really sort of weird game that Matthew Dawkins helmed the design of, and it's where it's post-apocalyptic. Everybody's been forced down below into a subterranean world, and there are well liches right near the bottom, and there are people who inhabit different levels, and they're all weird in different ways. And they do things like there's chaos magic, and when you cast a powerful spell, the chaos magic responds, and people get changed. Like you could have gems growing out of your skin, so you're suddenly are wearing natural armor, but it's weird. It's gems, and people want to come up and chip some of your skin off and take it away. It's stuff like that. It's really weird, and playing that was fun. But yeah, increasingly as I get to be an old fart, I don't care about rules anymore. I just want to story tell, which is one of the reasons at old Gen Cons they would give me a charity table to run. Then it would be people like the mayor of Milwaukee or his family who'd never played D&D before, because you don't have to know the rules. You just sit down, we tell the story together. and I say, you see that weird die in front of you? That one, the green one? And I'd always make sure that their dice were different colors. So I didn't have to say the D20, and they go, what's the D20?
Judson Curtis.
I could say the green one, or the gold see-through one. Just roll that for me. And I'd look at the result, and then I'd tell them what happened in the story. And they'd say, oh, when are we going to start playing D&D? You are playing D&D. You know, that's it. You know, and it's like, so I don't care about the rule system. I just want to care about the story. And some, you know, really cool, clunky stories that people come up with. And I've played stories with people who are free-forming. It's like, there you are in your upstairs cubicle land in your office tower in a big American city on the 85th floor. And somebody smashes through the window. And they've got a cloak on. They're wearing spandex. And they say, at last I've caught you. And, you know, the secretaries start up in their chairs in shock and horror. And their clothes are flying off. And they're looking very startled. And underneath their clothes, they're wearing spandex and capes. And they're going, what? And they try and run away because they're just, you know, terrified. And they take 2 running steps. And suddenly they're flying above the cubicle partitions and going, I'm what? I can fly? And then they smash into a plate glass window and rebound off it. Ow, that hurts. And then now they don't know what's going on, and the game master is just unfolding a game. And they're discovering the hard way as they get hit by this villain, and the window smashes this time, and now they're falling towards the streets far below. And well, you better do something or you're going to die. You're going to be like jelly on the streets. And this is probably New York, so people will come running to get your body, you know, because free body. And then you're frantically trying to figure out what to do, and you do the old thing, like, you know, the Spider-Man thing, or Iron Man putting on his suit as he's in the last second he soars away and doesn't end up on the pavement. And you're playing and you're going, this is really cool, and you say, welcome to role-playing games. You know,
awesome.
So a real quick commentary here with that, Ed, and rules, as I need to figure out how to get more evil. So this is the setup without the Behir was down here. And this is the setup, and so they all jumped across this cab. I never thought they would, because if they failed, they were dead, because it's like a 200-foot drop, right? Because they didn't know.
I did not. I was a coward.
Yeah, that's okay. So
it's because I don't care.
I'm figuring that out.
I'll jump it and be like, my dexterity's 18.
But if the ever mysterious Tim was DMing, he would have laid a wall of force on this side, going up about 8 to 10 feet, and they would have hit it and then going into the cat. See, I gotta start thinking like that, you know. But no, Jay. That's the wrong way to be kidding.
Evil.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have done it though, because she had detect magic on.
That's true.
I did.
You did.
I put detect magic on.
Yeah, you did. But I was thinking rules. Yeah. I need to be more. I need to be more an evil SOB.
No. What
I'm
you
kidding,
need to do, Jay, you need to make sure that they know the danger,
right?
And they have to weigh it going in,
right?
And then it's fair because you knew the danger and you went in anyway. So of course, make the Behir in heat because it's mating season, and the Behir's been waiting for other Behirs, and there are no Behirs coming. But here are all these creatures. Maybe I can mate with one of them. So the Behir's coming to meet you.
Oh God! Now that's scary.
It doesn't want to kill you and eat you right away, because if it eats your head, then you can't. Then you can't mate with it. So it wants to keep you alive, and it wants to sort you for which one it likes and wants to mate with. You see?
I'll say this. I mean, I got to get a little more sharp. Like, for example, right in on with the Dark Elves in one of the fights, and Coco knows her character. Don't cast spells on them because they have magic resistance. So they're learning, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Learning the ins and outs of how I DM, which is what I want. All of you to experience as other DMs, other play styles, other you know how other DMs work, and that way you can start. You know, that's how you decide how you want to DM yourself.
Yeah,
you know, you know that's. I mean,
Jay, when he runs us in these games, it's far more combat and rules, and you get a chance to do the football quarterback in the huddle, deciding what you're going to do. because it's your character's capabilities and the spells and the magic items against a slightly unknown foe and finding out what works.
Yeah, a
And
good
that's
example. Yesterday's game where we were all basically the four of us huddled together and how we were going to either burn down the hut or we were going to not burn down the hut and see what was inside and see if we could salvage anything. So,
but I threw a wrench into it. They just didn't even see coming. So on that one.
That's a different playing style than full on.
Right.
Everybody puts on funny Monty Python voices.
Right.
Dresses in costume and plays their character.
Yeah.
And that can get really intense. And I mean, I've seen players burst into tears and cry because it's an emotional moment for their character. So they're role playing to the hilt. They're ham acting. And they're sobbing and weeping and hugging other players. And the other players are going, this is uncomfortable because I'm being hugged by a 300-pound hairy guy with a beard wearing a t-shirt that says something inappropriate on it. But he's playing an elf maiden who's in love with me. And
right.
Now what do I do? You know, but it's like you can anything in between.
Yes.
What Jay is showing you and that.
Oh yeah.
And it's all role playing, and your group just sort of free forms to decide where you're all comfortable with.
That's it.
Yeah, and everything is okay. It's whatever your group rolls with.
That's it.
There's no right or wrong one.
There isn't.
It's what you like. Yeah.
And a good DM will be will meld and make slight changes for the betterment of the players. Yeah, and it's just the way it is. You know, it's just so.
And I've played in the Home Realms campaign where we went on for 6 hours of game time, and no weapon was drawn, no spell was cast. It was all intrigue and talking to people, and going off and like all of those things you see on TV where they're doing Henry VIII one more time. And people are going off behind a curtain and saying, "Pretty good, my lord. Dost not now. Do you think something bad should happen to the queen? Do you think, you know?" And it's all that for 6 hours. Nobody fights. And again, it's whether do I want more of this or do I not want more of this? Exactly. Does my group like this? Does my group not like this? And it's all okay. There's no bad thing. And some nights she'll swing to one, and another night she'll say, "I had a bad day at work. Can I kill some orcs?"
Exactly. Or you have one player going bonkers and just kill something because they have to, but that could be fun too. Yep.
Absolutely.
Too much intrigue and literally I've had that some player. Damn, I just rolled a d20. I just take my big axe and just kill the damn thing with the discussion. It gets too frustrating, and that could be hilariously fun.
Sure.
And take the twist on the story. Yeah.
I'm shooting into melee combat. I don't care.
Oh yes. Yep.
Oh, we all have, you know, absorbed the Anna doctrine one way or another.
That's good.
Thanks, Wayne. 666.
She has shot at me so many times.
Yeah, you got shot in the butt again. Yeah.
I know.
But that
someone
wasn't
else
me.
have done that.
That wasn't me.
Yeah,
someone else have done that. I've created someone in the butt once. So
yeah, absolutely.
The NPC shot me, but she shot at me too.
Yes.
Yesterday.
I did, but it missed.
Yeah,
it missed.
Barely. Or in there, I felt to go right by her.
I made my rolls.
And the great thing is that all this creates stories you can talk about, like you're at the bar with your friends and just chatting up stuff, and you go, "Hey, remember that time?" You know, and that's one of the wonders of the game, and so you know, just wanted to share all the stuff that Ed has talked about today is tools to help you with your story, and then with that, you know, comes gameplay. There's got to be some sort of rule, and that was a great question about rules. You know, I'm 1E, 2E. I know Ed feels just as home playing 5E, right? You know, it doesn't matter to you. System doesn't matter. Yeah. So, and
no, I'm more comfortable in 2nd edition because I design more of the rules, so I can just think in it without stopping. Whereas 5th edition, I go, okay, what's an attack of opportunity again? Yeah, I know what it is, but how do we do it? You know, then but again, that would depend on who I was playing with, because I will play with young gamers and they don't know anything else except 5th edition. That's all they've ever experienced.
I got these two right off the bat at 1E, 2E. So, but hey, please play some 5E. You know.
No, I definitely want to be an all arounder. I want to experience. I'm like one of those people. I have FOMO. I want to experience everything that I possibly can.
Definitely. 100%.
And see what we like the best, and just kind of move on and grow from there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because you can live or you can exist. You can pass 60, 70, 80 years, and then they put you in your grave and you just sort of survived. Or you can live every minute of that 60, 70 years, and boy, do you have a lot of stories to babble as you get pushed towards the grave, and then everybody else has to tell afterwards.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
live your life.
I love it.
We only know we get one life. There may be more, but we only know about one. So do it. Live that life. Do stuff. Have war stories to tell. And that's why when you're an old fart and you get on the elevator and some big guy in a uniform who's in a hurry says, "Excuse me, Grandma, I need you to move out of the way," and you can look at him and say, "No, you move out of the way."
Love it.
And then he looks into your eyes, and instead of pushing past you, he goes, "Sorry," and gives way.
Yep.
Because he looks into your eyes and says, "Oh shit, I better move."
Zach, they're on my YouTube, but if you go and click on Lord Gazama Down Go, the yesterday morning, Coco Bird, Dungeon Dave, and Korg played in one just yesterday morning. So just watch the vid from the vid previous, the last vid from Saturday. Watch it, and you'll understand. It's an old school 1E2E. So yeah, all right. So good, Howard Curry. I will remember that. Ed got a regular already. So yeah, please watch that. It's a really great game, and I tricked them right at the beginning, but they met Gazumba in person, so. Brought him out. Yeah, about my equivalent. But he's not anywhere near as high level as Elminster.
So tell me about those 8 specials I still have, right?
No.
Hey, I still consider I have 16 from the fundraiser.
That's right. So no. Yes, the fundraiser. We'll have some fun. So as soon as Eric Mona gives me a date or a couple dates, Ed, I'll get with you, coordinate that, and we'll get that rolling.
Sure. So, I don't mind going on a date with Eric Mona. We can be fun.
That's it. That's right, Dale. Hawk and his good friend Lord Gazama have been friends and I made it a parallel. I made that Orenthera and Faunland were from both houses, same 2 houses, and friends.
Yeah.
So
got to meet my relative basically, like in real life in game.
That's awesome. It, and that's part of the little campaign, lore and RP in it. So I know you have one question, and real quick, we'll give you that one question, and we'll close out questions. Something about Obscure Realms question: do the War Wizards of Cormier have internal ranks?
Yes, they do, and they also have, in effect, military police for the War Wizards, and that's been covered in lore. Brian Cortio and I have both covered it, and we'll be going into it again pretty soon because we're going to do a huge Q&A for the Patreon people in which it's all Cormier all the time. And when we recover from that, it'll be like 4 or 5 hours of gabbing. We will put some stuff down in printed form, because here's the thing. Everything I put on the Patreon eventually shows up on YouTube for free. So we'll get it out there. And I write the scripts for all the videos, so there's written stuff. Yeah, we'll get it all out there. But yes, there are ranks. What they've done over the years from Vanguard to Hast onward is they have been more or less precise depending on who's in the chair. Like Vanguard to Hast was an authority guy. When we moved on to the ladies running the War Wizards, they were far more, you're either a novice in training or you're a full War Wizard. And then there's the little council, really senior ones, and the ones that I use as my sort of military police. The Alarfons is what they're called. And beyond that, there's just this unofficial hierarchy, like with the Royal Magician at the top, which is Vanguard to Hast for most of the classic realm stuff. Lespira Inthray as his number 2. And then the Alarfons and some of the senior ones. And then it's just sort of everybody else just knows where they fit. As in, if they step into a room, they look around at the other War Wizards and, oh, I defer to these people. These are the veterans. It's very, like, once you're a full War Wizard, and during those people, there weren't so many formal ranks. And you got put together in teams. You're good at this, you're good at that. You're good at diplomacy. You're good at remembering things. We'll put you together into a team, and you shift around within the team, and the team is just for one mission. So then rank doesn't matter so much. You're all war wizards.
I got one more question that just popped up. I'm going to allow it. So, question for Ed. I'm reading the Druid Home trilogy, but I'm wondering what Ed thinks of Talos and Malar doing what they're doing in the Moonshays, and why don't some of other realms deities object to what they're trying to do to the elves there?
Ah, yes. Well, guess what? Some other deities do object, and I have a Realms Lore video coming out later this year, who knows when, in which I go into Malar. I give you details on Malar and the clergy for the first time. Malar is okay. Those of you who have cats and dogs in real life, you understand that they very much live in the moment.
Yeah.
So that joke that comes from, movies and television shows where the dog is talking away and it goes, squirrel, squirrel. Okay. That's very much, Malar is like that. So Malar doesn't stick with any one long-term goal for very long before he's on to the next thing, because he's ruled by his hunger and bloodlusts and rage and weariness or freshness when he wakes up after a long sleep, and he's on to something new. Okay, so what he's trying to do in a concerted effort doesn't stay concerted for very long unless he's working with someone else, which is what's happening in the Moonshays. Now, what's happening in the Moonshays got tolerated for as long as it was because the Moonshays are, thanks to the oceans around them, hived off from the rest of Faerun. If he tried to do that in the mainland, he would have been curbed right away, and pretty sharply. But you see, to some extent, it's like, well, maybe this is what the people here want. So the Earth Mother in the Moonshays is slightly different from Shanti everywhere else. But it really comes down to how the Earth Mother reacts. Because the Earth Mother is the nurturer, the goddess of farming, the goddess of fecundity, and the bounty of the land coming to you from your own efforts of both harvesting and gleaning or hunting. And if she thinks it's gone too far, bang, it stops.
Okay.
Don't mess with the woman. The woman rule the world. Very simple.
Very wise words.
Yep.
I find that out every day. Yeah.
Yes, you find that out every day.
Nothing scarier than a woman scorned.
Yeah, I try never to scorn any woman on the planet. It's exhausting.
It is. We don't forget shit either.
Smart man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you should hear them. You better not kill my character off this time. No, it's like,
I will remember. I'm just kidding.
Yep.
Jay,
Yep.
I'm expecting it any day now. I've had them long enough.
no, don't say that. No. Don't say that.
I want to get mine to double-digit level.
Yeah.
The way you
Before he even
backstab me all the
thinks.
time.
Okay, let me do the old fart giving advice thing.
Please do.
Work out with a mage some way that some version of your character is preserved.
Yeah.
So then if you ever lose the character, you can come back, albeit lower level and having, forgotten some things, because after that happened, your character went on having experiences, and the reborn or risen character doesn't
you can clone
have them.
people in D&D.
Yeah. That happened to Elisa Teague with Adira. But in our earlier realm-spanning adventures, both Merrick Stakhanith, Keith Baker's character, and Elminster, my character, had preserved editions of Adira just in case something happened. So when Adira finally went down, we can both bring her back.
Oh.
Now remember, there's still raises and stuff like that. That's when the body's like completely gone and all.
Yeah.
So.
But there are ways. And that's why you want to leave, your toenail clippings and locks of your hair and little bits of your spittle and stuff around, but in ways with people you trust.
Yes, because evil DMs like me. Here's an example. Alan's character Milana lost limbs multiple times, and she got them, regenerated every time. and this is funny, Bill Master Crafter's character, his cleric necromancer Salen, would take the piece and hide it. So that when he put on the crown of Ruggiero Bloodmoon, which is the same person as the tongue, right? He became a Tulsa Doom-like character. He cloned all of them. So he had 3 bad Milanas running around assisting him. So there you go, all at different levels.
Yes, oh no.
Yes, and that was pre-streaming. That was a long time ago. So just note that I will twist things. Just
on the other hand, that's how you get to shake hands with yourself.
Yes, exactly. But normally one of them is normally one becomes insane when you do that too by rule. So normally one of them.
If they're clones.
If they're clones,
there are other ways.
Yeah, there are, absolutely. But just to put that out there, there's a lot of fun things you can do to mess with characters.
Heck yeah!
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Be fun to play a normal version, and then a gone mentally insane version of yourself.
Yes. So I have Coco.
That would be a lot of fun.
So I have Coco, who unfortunately couldn't get on in time the one night. But I have Coco, who's going to play. Are you ready, Anna? A daughter of Mistrine.
Ooh, awesome!
I'm so excited.
Alexis, the cruel and cunning.
Sounds great.
Yes. So one of his anti-paladin daughters. I love anti-paladins. Yes, and she made it.
I gotta dig deep for
you gotta dig deep for your
negative emotions.
Yes, but you were very helpful until someone was rude to you, and then you just slaughtered them on Thursday. She watched the stream Thursday, and it kills Alan's character. Yeah, it was funny. Yep, absolutely. Gotta have some fun. All right, so let's do some shout outs here. Anna, what's going on? What do you got going on this week?
Okay.
We'll do some shout outs and we'll
there's a bunch of. I have a little bit of problem with World Machine right now, so. Yeah, there's some sort of with some Windows update or something. So I have a support ticket. So in the meantime, I'm going to focus on first point of interest in Crit Wall. There is a bunch lined up. So we come with the commander's kind of mansion and headquarters first. That is the old Hextorian temple. That's the one first come out, and a couple of others with the dungeon maps and some history and some room descriptions and stuff on that. So that's one that I'm working on. Another one, follow-up articles on the rule system. Last was sensors, and there are 2 more coming that ties into D&D physics and that Census did. And one is magic transportation that we talked about a little bit earlier. So with limitations and ideas and stuff like that around making that more interesting, more fantastic in that sense, and much less just game mechanics. It should be more fun and tied into how things work in the setting. Another one is communication that ties into Census. Meaning how you can communicate is what you can see and hear and stuff. And I'm even going to come to life alignment languages in a new form, so to speak. So because I was like, damn, I want them back, but I don't want them the old-fashioned way, so to speak. So they tied into the sense good and sense evil. They tie into, so it's kind of an extension of the senses. The communications, and how do ethereal creatures communicate, and how do plants and other stuff can they communicate? So I've taken ideas from the real world and then applied D&D physics to it, and there are some really interesting, cool kind of ways that you can have them communicate, and how do demons and other netherworld creatures that can sense good and also are evil, how can they communicate in ways that can really fool you and so on. So you might need the senses so you can tie into and overhear things and also detect them.
Tiger Rider with 84 people.
Oh wow!
Wow!
Welcome. Welcome, Raiders.
Dang, hey, welcome in.
Yeah, welcome in, Tiger Rider. That's a new one. Hopefully, I got the legendary at Greenwood here. We're doing shout outs and we got some giveaways going. Thank you so very much for coming here. I love seeing a new channel rating in. Please reach out to me. If you're interested in D&D, this is where we play old school. The legendary at Greenwood, creator of Forgotten Realms is on. We got Coco Bunny and Little Bird, who were with me at GaryCon and played Ned's game at GaryCon, and the legendary Anna Meyer. It's great to see you all. Thank you so very much for coming in. and enjoy the discussion here as we're doing some shout outs, and we're going to show you all the content coming on in April. And I'm going to immediately check out your channel and follow you, and very kind of you. Thank you. So,
there will be a mapping live stream on Friday again. So that's the next things that are coming up. Yeah.
So so Anna will have one on Friday, and that's great. And we got where do you see the content coming up through this month? It's insane.
Yep. 6 p.m.
Starting yesterday's game with Bird and Coco and all, it was awesome. So we are cranking it out this month. And Tiger, thank you. So I'd love to know more about your channel and what you guys all do there. So I'll reach out and we'll collaborate. Bird, what's going on? What do you got going on? I know you got some 24-hour streams coming up.
I actually do. I'm hey y'all, for everybody who doesn't know me, I'm Little Bird _84. I'm actually doing a 24-hour stream on Saturday night. I'm really excited. It'll be my 19th one.
Close, yeah.
Although I'm counting, 19. I've done 18. But I love doing them. I do at least one a month. I play a lot of horror games like Dead by Daylight, Phasmophobia. I do Fortnite, Call of Duty, and I had so much fun at GaryCon. I can't wait to start playing D&D more and start DMing hopefully the next, I want to push for like 2 or 3 months. But no, it's just a lot of fun. And thank you guys for having me, letting me be on here. I know I just got home from work right before I got on, so I'm sorry if I'm a little
this was
disheveled.
such a great surprise for Ed. Right? Yeah, this is just such a wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Ed,
It was fun being here. I appreciate it. It's always so much fun talking to you and Anna and Jay.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
Oh, brilliantly done.
Oh my gosh, that was great.
Oh gosh. Wow.
Zing!
You know I'm.
I know it's all in love. I know.
Your Oscar's in the mail.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I know it's all in love. So, and Jay, yeah.
And Jay here.
Yes.
No, and for everybody who's new and like rating in, you guys you're in an awesome channel with an awesome community. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, that's really kind. You say, Bird. Thank you.
Yeah,
here's my stream team, Greyhawk Creatives. That was the #1 thing I did when I got a partner almost 3 years ago, was create that, and we got some great channels. Both Bird and Coco are in there. Anna's in there. Please, if you take a look and follow a lot of those channels, they're all great people. This is a really tight community we have here with the D&D old school and new school content. So please feel free to reach out to me anytime. So I checked Tiger's channel out. It's pretty impressive. So it's really honored you came in to rate into me. Thank you. So well, Bird, I'm looking forward to all. I jump on whenever I can and watch, and
Oh yeah, and I definitely appreciate it. I love being here too anytime. So I mean, and the community is freaking amazing. So I appreciate every opportunity for playing on your channel and being here.
Well, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sorry. Reach out anytime. It's okay. We're now being the talk show on Sunday night that we have, and having the honor of having legendary Ed Greenwood on. We go all over the place because Ed put. I want to while we have everyone, I'm going to skip Coco for 1 second. Because I have this huge audience. So this is a Kickstarter.
Oh, yeah.
This is Kafir's Kickstarter, Flavor Text Adventures, How to Cook Monsters for the Dinner and Gaming Table. Okay? This is Kafir Mendel,
awesome.
Cave Geek Art. So, and Ed is part of this. All right? So Ed is part of this. So I'll give you an example of this. And then here's the link in chat here. Whoops, I just hit the wrong button. There, you can get me for a wrong button right there, everyone. Hit me up with the wrong button emote. Yeah.
Turtley.
Hold on. Turtley. Hit me with the fucking turtle emote too, Ed. Thanks, Ed. Yeah. You guys are ball busting something. Hit me up blue balls because you got me on that too. There it is. There's the link to this Kickstarter, which is really fantastic. Let me see if I can find the right. Oh my gosh, here it is. All right, here's an example of Flavor Text Adventures. How to Chef Alton Green. That's funny instead of Alton Brown. How to cook cave troll for the dinner and gaming table, and then a bit of an introduction. And there's a whole bunch of these that are going to be in the Kickstarter. I think the highest tier is only $90. So I would go and check it out, and please give what you can for it. I know he's got goals coming up. He's already made it surpassed his funding goal, but I know there's certain ones to get to Ed, which is coming up very close. So, all right.
Nice.
Awesome.
Okay, very cool.
What flavor do you think I am?
Yeah, you're salty, Ed. So.
You've been peeking.
You're the flavor of the rainbow, Ed.
Ooh, taste the rainbow.
Yeah,
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah,
that's
you're there. You go. I'll even salt you up there a little bit there.
Yeah.
Ed,
My favorite kind of flavor.
Oh, I'm getting frisky now.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hold it back so much.
By the way, for everyone new who's rated in exclamation point drawing, I'm giving away 2 books to 2 winners each. Published guide, source book for D&D. These are all old, they're reprints, and then a module. So you get two books. And if you don't know what to get, I'll give you something that I recommend if you win. So exclamation point drawing, 2 giveaways tonight. Feel free, everyone, to sign up, please.
Jay, don't forget.
Yes.
It's Coco's turn.
It is Coco's turn. Coco, you're up.
Yes. Hi, everybody. I'm Coco Bunny 94 for those who don't know me. I'm also a variety streamer. I don't stream as much, but I'm there when I can because life gets in the way. But what I am going to be doing in the next I guess month. Next weekend, I get to be a part of Guild Superior's Shadow Dark RPGs Session 0.
Yes.
So I'm really excited for that next week. Also get to be a part of another streamer friend of mine, Birds. We get to do like a fishing tournament with prizes and stuff for everybody watching and playing in the game. So that's
really a 24-hour stream. Isn't that part of the 24-hour stream, or no? Is that something different?
No, that's something different.
Oh, is it? Okay, cool.
It's what I'm going to be starting my 24-hour with doing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then move on to other stuff.
Nice.
Yes.
Hey, Sithy.
Yes. And then, being a part of Jay's games, we got that Champions games at the end of this month as well. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun. But yeah, that's basically what I've got going on for this month at least. But I'm really happy that you let us come on and you let us surprise Ed and get to talk a little bit about GaryCon. Because that was so awesome. I'm still like living in the high of GaryCon because it was just so amazing. Everybody that we met, everybody that we got the chance to play with, talk to, make conversations with, it was awesome.
It was. I'm gonna don't make me tear up again, please. It was so unbelievable to everyone that we met and all the friends that we made and all the people that we see only online, and now we saw them in person. I'm trying to, of course, I can't find a picture that I already had posted because I'm a dumbass where I put it, because it's the one with the head licking one. I was going to put that back up one more time. I can't locate it I know it's here. But
I love how you describe it as the head licking one.
Well, it's the one with Bash licking
so many bad ways.
Licking Brett's head. So, and we're all of us here in that picture, and it's just like, and that was only the Tuesday night.
I know.
And that's what's so.
We started off strong that night.
All right, I have another. All right, so I found another one while I'm looking for the other one. I didn't show this one. Here you go.
And Ed, we're thinking.
There you go. How's that picture? Look at that at GaryCon. There's all of us in Chad together. All of us on here in Chad.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was such a great.
Yeah, I was tired.
Yeah, absolutely. You were all exhausted.
That's so much fun.
Yeah.
Hey, I drove a long way too, and I get it.
You did drive a long way.
All right, two more. Yeah. Here we go. There's us.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Jay's Angel.
Oh my gosh.
Look at Coco Bunny. Look at her seducing the camera there.
I know, that's such a great picture.
Hey, if you're gonna be one of Jay's Angels, you gotta act the part, man.
Yes.
God, that camera adds like 50 pounds. Holy shit.
No, that's okay. And then here I found it.
You are still a very beautiful woman.
Absolutely. And here we go. This is that Tuesday night, and once again, so many people here are watching. There's myself. There's Curtis. There's Coco Bird. There's Bash licking Brett's head. There's Vamp Wickman Chad. There's Anna. There's Ed Greenwood. There's Joav, who's Gandalf on too. So we have a whole watching.
Awesome.
So
That's awesome.
Yeah, at GaryCon. So what a wonderful time. Unbelievable. So.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
I
that was
can't
so
wait.
much
I
fun.
cannot wait for next year because next year I really want to get into volunteering because I know I will get to meet a tons more people than I did
Yeah,
this year, and
absolutely.
that's what I'm
Yep.
really looking forward to.
Unfortunately, you just put your hands out like this and put the shackles on right now for Josh.
Oh,
From
well, see, that's
Zarathon.
the thing. I'm one of those
You
people
will
that
love
goes
it.
with the
Yep.
flow.
I
and
know, I'm just being
willing
smart.
to do anything.
It will be fun.
I'm being
Yeah.
smart. So thank you for that. Thank you.
Mhm.
So
Oh yeah, I can't wait to volunteer either. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, just like for your first volunteering, don't make Josh rope you into running off to find somebody.
yeah, because especially you don't know who the hell they are.
Because you
With-
won't know who they
yeah.
are.
Yeah, don't,
Well, I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
with this year and there being so many people, I assume there'll be either the same amount or even more next
It will be
year.
crazy
That's gonna
next
be
year, too.
ridiculous to
It's
find
gonna-
somebody.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be nuts. But I'll walk around and be like, "Hey, I did so and so," and just be telling like yelling it out.
Or just
They'll-
hold a sign up, be like, "Is this you?" Where are you?
They'll eventually come because I'll just embarrass the shit out of them.
That is funny.
be like, "Oops."
Yep.
Work
my
smarter,
bad.
not harder.
Exactly.
And if you want to make friends, when everybody's lined up, snaking up and down the aisles, waiting to get their badge,
Oh my gosh.
you walk along and say, "Anybody need to pee? I'll hold your place in line."
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh, I
I'm
bet that
willing
would
to do
definitely
that.
work.
So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
let's tell one last story.
Yes.
Let's tell one last story. Bird and Coco had silver badges, but they didn't wait in line.
Oh god.
Oh, yeah.
Why
Oh.
was that, Ed?
Oh, I would think Jay had
Uh-oh.
something to do with it.
No, you went in and gave someone a massage.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right there with a
Ed's magic
Ed
fingers
went
came to
into the
play.
It's magic hands.
Yeah,
so
I
it's
mean,
like-
Ed's magic hands
Yeah.
can do anything.
So there we
Yeah.
go. We got away
yes,
with
I-
something.
Saying.
I did give a massage to get badges. Yeah, but if they hadn't been disposed to give badges,
Right.
it
Yeah.
wouldn't have worked.
I know. We
because-
pulled a little magic
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
We did
yeah.
because we were in the show with us that night, right, in the Gabbin. So it's just it has to be for all of us. It was just the right thing to do was to get
Yeah.
to get that
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
So
And by the way, all of you people watching, I give male gamers massages too.
yeah, you did. You gave Will one live
Yes.
stream,
Yeah.
which is awesome, and
Yeah.
you gave me one too. So
Yeah,
Um,
it's all about the tension, the long drive, the sitting at keyboards. It's all just relax, man. Relax.
Mm-hmm.
You're among friends. It's
Yep.
relax time.
Yep.
absolutely.
Agreed.
So
Yep. Yep. He was Curtis. I think Ed got a little bit more handsy with everybody this year.
Well, just watching Curtis go, ah!
That was great.
See now, wait a minute. I got one more. Yeah, I got one more. Oh my god, and it's you and Balfrin, isn't it? What's this called? Eiffel Towering? I don't even know.
Yes.
Am
Eiffel
I like
Tower.
old and I don't know what
my
that is?
gosh, Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Eiffel Tower.
Oh,
yep.
but be careful how you say you Eiffel Towered.
Yes.
There's
Yes.
another
Yeah, there's
it
another
means
Eiffel
something
Tower.
else too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just be careful of how you say it.
All right, I can't. Once in a while, I find it. Here's another. Sorry, Ed's not in that picture. That's another picture I love the
Oh,
hell
that's
out
okay. I love that.
Yeah,
Oh,
isn't that
wow.
great?
Only
I
one we're,
love that
only one we're
picture.
missing, and that one is Darling.
of. Darling was
Yeah,
I
she was in the bar. She was
know.
bartending at that time, right?
With
She
the little
she
bones and
yeah.
myriad. I
yeah,
love that
she was
picture.
bartending
That's
in
Yes.
it.
beautiful.
And yet again, there's Jay.
Yeah.
There we are.
Yeah. That's the picture.
That's the
That's
Eiffel
awesome.
Tower.
Yeah, that's the Eiffel Tower for which you do not need more lube.
Yeah, oh my gosh! Look, Kurt.
Run this guy.
Yes, yeah, there you go.
Oh,
That would be a good to trip on that. Yeah, I would say so. So there you go. Great pick, and yeah, like I said, that's one of my favorites.
that
It's a
is
shame.
lovely.
Like I said, it's a shame.
That's
It's a shame
awesome.
that Darling was not there for that one, but that was it.
I love meeting those girls and getting to play with those girls. They
Oh,
were
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, the
definitely.
Slavs, absolutely with that. So there,
Mhm.
there's Bones and Myriad's husband back here, and then Darling's not in this picture, and Brett, of course, who's on Ebb here, right there. I've been seeing that look on his face for years. So yeah. Oh, there's Curtis is back. So all right. So what is going on? Are you ready? I'll go through this as fast as I can. Then we'll do the giveaways. Wednesday, next stream, Wednesday night, the Bitter North. So Black Ice, Burial, Blackmore, Cold Marshes. So Brett and Curtis, you have a Burial Forest campaign. I'm asking if one of you will come on for a half hour to discuss it on Legends of the Lore Wednesday night. I'm here, Curtis, CBL right there. So let me know if you'll come on to discuss that Burial Forest campaign you're doing. And we'll do a little mini My Greyhawk. All right, for that discussion. And I'm also reaching out to Carlos Slicing, see if he's available for that. That is Wednesday night. Thursday night, we go back to Hardby, and Tom has a character Skeets, a halfling thief. He has a bar. He's found there's a secret passageway out in his wine cellar that led to a bunch of underground caverns with a one-way teleporter. This is adventure 943 that happened. So it's 100 adventures ago in the campaign, which is only like a year or two ago. And oh my God, it's freaking insane. Trouble. So we're going to continue what's going to happen with this. They don't know anything about this teleporter. There's a whole bunch of undead down there. There's bones everywhere, and not little bones. And yeah. So we'll start that on Thursday. Hardby regulars and Trouble at Skeets Highway. Now here is all the special content for the rest of the month. I have a game every Saturday morning this month. We already have one just previously. Here we go. You ready? Special guest DM appearance, William Henry Dvorak, Giant Stop. Lost Secrets of the Rushmores. Players, Minnesota Muse, Ashley. The Ever Mysterious Tim. Alex Antiquitous, and yours truly, all playing halflings in 5e.
Looking forward to that.
That'd be awesome.
Saturday, April 13th. So you can catch 2 hours of this or 3 hours.
So much fun.
Actually, Courtney, you can catch the whole thing before Guild Superior. We'll raid into you.
Yeah.
We'll raid into Guild Superior.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Ken.
I will be there and, watching and
awesome.
hopefully laughing it up.
And we'll have special and regular hero points in this too, just like we do regularly. It'll just be a little different. It'll be the same system Tim uses, not the one I use. So we will have that, okay? And so it'll be a Theater of the Mind 5e with Will DMing. My first in a series of guest DMs on the channel. All this came because of GaryCon, all right? So then the week after that, back to BattleTech. Doing a BattleTech game again Saturday morning with Jimmy Duffy, Phantom NJ, from GaryCon, Chris Herrera is who wanted to play in it. Who am I missing?
Nice.
Balfrin plays in this game.
Nice.
The Ever Mysterious Tim and each of our sons play in the game too. So
awesome.
50-50 shot. If Coco and Chuck are not in a Troller Games event that day, Coco and Chuck will be playing too. So there you go. If they don't have a Troller game event that day, so there you go. And that'll be a series and we'll get back to some BattleTech, and that'll be on. We'll keep it rolling, and then after that, the Champions game. Champions Superheroes Saturday morning with Bird, Coco, Brett, Eb here, and myself playing. And a little continuation from the game we were playing at GaryCon, and I think I got my character discorded to me by Curtis tonight. Yeah, Rocket's Red Glare or whatever. Yes, the most arrogant. Of course, I'm playing the most arrogant of all of them. But and that'll
That's so much fun.
Reviler too. It'll be in the house. And thank you for Never Not a Hipster. Thank you for the follow. That's not it. The day after that, you ready? Let's finish this off with a massive Gabbin with Keith Baker as our special guest.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
That's
Keith
gonna
Baker
be awesome, Gabbin.
That's gonna be so much fun.
On the 28th, we're going to talk about his Glim board game that Ed and I got the pleasure of playing.
God, yeah.
Playing multiple times. I live streamed it. I live streamed it so you can watch the actual event of Glim, the board game. And I'm looking. Of course, I should have had these prepped, but I know. Here we go. So here is the game we're playing. There's Ed's Head, myself, Todd Stashwick, and Alyssa Teague, and Keith game managing it. Yes, so we played it, and then we played it a little earlier the day before. I don't know if I have that pick too. I don't know if I'll be able to find that one, but of course it has Todd in it, so I have to show it, but I don't know where it is. Okay.
Oh, you good friend Todd Stashwick?
Yeah. Oh man, my ball! You're gonna bust. Everyone's gonna break my stones till the end of time. So.
I mean,
you set yourself up for that one.
Only because he's such a good friend.
He is.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Good friend.
Raising hands. How many people and their spouse was invited to spend a weekend at Todd's house? Raise your hand.
I could forge it real quick.
Yeah.
To come out and hang and play some D&D and all, and wives can go shopping. So suck it. How's that?
Just say,
All right,
Well, hey,
okay.
because we were invited, we get to use that against you.
I know.
It lets a little bit of our jealousy out.
It's all fun. It's all fun. I know it's
yeah,
done. Boffin,
so. Raise your hand if you care. I'm going to wave it around.
Oh my gosh. I won, thank you. I won, Armin. So, and that's what's going on in April. It's going to continue in May. I'm hoping that the Slav Squad 2 drink minimum crossover wedding event is in May on a Saturday night. Now, there's one other one which is too far out. Bones is DMing her game with myself, Tim, Ever Mysterious Tim, and Darling and Myriad playing in that. That'll be the last weekend in May. So we got that going. We got a lot of stuff. I'm not even going to put the May schedule up on special events until we get somewhere midway through June. Midway through April, because I got so much content. It's hard to keep track of everything. I'm trying though. So please, tonight, sign up to Kafir's Kickstarter if you haven't already, and let's do the giveaways, all right? I know I've kept everyone real long, and my apologies.
Oh, no, you're good.
Okay, well, I appreciate that.
I mean, on my end, I'm not,
okay. Everyone good?
To speak for everybody.
All right. Last call. Exclamation point drawing to get into giveaways. I'll give you all 15 seconds. Yep. 2 giveaways. You get your choice of resource book and module. And if you go, hey, just give me something cool, I will. If you don't, if you're new to the community, it's good. There's Balfrin. Balfrin signing up there. There's Curtis signing up. So here we go. And then we're going to raid into Darling, because she's got a game going now. Eric Mo's supposed to be playing in it, but he's still in Hawaii. So, let's go with a massive raid into Darling Creep Show. All right, shall we? All right, closing this out. Here we go. Let's see who wins. It's exclamation point drawing, Norker. And Norker, you heard my announcement. Ed has given me the clear. We're going to have you see Lacra Doom Grinder article for number 4. All right. Grimoire number 4. Drawing. Are you doing it wrong multiple times? I think he's doing it on purpose. So I'm closing it out. Jerk. Yes, you guys are all. Yeah, here we go. Winner number 1, Viral BGM. Congrats. Winner number 2.
Congrats.
Of course. Thank you. No, let's thank Ed, because without Ed, we don't have this much fun.
Hey,
thank
my
you,
good friend Jay Scott.
You can say that anytime, Ed. It would be a badge of honor. I consider you.
I'm gonna use that when I'm volunteering. Well, my good friend Jay Scott.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please do that.
Yeah, my good friend Jay.
There you go. Ed, I consider you. I consider
Who was also good friends with Todd Stashwick.
Oh my God.
Who was in turn a good friends with Todd Stashwick. Who was in turn a good friend with
Oh my God.
2 degrees separation there. Okay.
Exactly.
Bust my balls, everyone. I consider you all dear friends, and everyone in the community good friends too. I mean, but I have some that hold close to my heart, and all 4 of you I do. So please note that.
Here.
So I'm not going to tear up again. So here we go. Last winner, Armin. Yes, I'm going to send you a gift certificate because I ain't shipping something to New Zealand. All right, I'll send you a GC for a certain dollar amount to Drive Through RPG if you don't mind. I don't even want to know how much it costs to ship to New Zealand, but you definitely win. All right, cool, awesome. All right.
That's awesome.
All right.
Congrats, everybody.
Any final tidbit or thought here? So, I know he's in Brazil, that Rob, but I'll send him something. So, congrats to the winner. Look, this was a fantastic stream. I know we went over an hour late, but it was worth every minute of it. Ed, thanks.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We'll coordinate the next time we have you on. Thank you. This was wonderful. We look forward to the game sometime in May. That'll be momentous. I promise. I will go. You think I went all out of Gary Con? I promise that this will be awesome. So. It'll be.
Thank you.
I'm so excited.
All right. We'll see you
all,
everybody. See you all Wednesday night.
Thank you.
Please support all streamers in the channel, and please, let's have keep the fun going, and we'll see you all soon. Wrong button. Yes, wrong button. Good night. I can't believe
Jay is unbuttoned. Bye.
Good night.
Are we rating?
Yes, we're rating the Darling Creep Show, so please hang in there. Everyone, please hang in until we get the raid finalized and going.
Yeah,
I'd love to go in.
This darling some love.
This could be a record number raid. Our highest raid ever, I think, is 115. I think we could break that tonight.
All right, let's do that.
You will be.
Hey, yeah, let's do that.
There we go. Oh my gosh, 134. Wow, 145, 146. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Love you all. See you Wednesday. Wow, that's insane. 146, Anna. We gotta remember that.
Awesome!
Yep.
Holy crap!
That was
awesome.
awesome.
That's amazing.
All right.
That was fantastic.
As a little bunch talked about pissing